Greetings, you dog dicks, and welcome to What Will Horror, our Texas Chainsaw Massacre retrospective ranking show. I am Flesh Boom Dan. That is producer Todd.
Hello.
Well, God damn it! All right, well, fuck it. That's Pugs Dread.
Lick my plate. Namaste.
Mike Kruger.
What's up, dog dicks?
And our special guest, Chris McGibbon.
Yo.
We were already fighting on the show.
Damn, he introduces you and he doesn't even put over your podcast?
Yeah, man.
Plug your podcast, McGibbon.
No.
Well, shit, all right.
There'll be a link at the bottom somewhere.
You can find him somewhere out there. All right. So, yeah, we were already fighting. So just this is how it works.
Who the fuck was fighting?
It's just you, Dan.
We were going back and forth on graphics, and we settled with the normal graphic. So I thought it was funny.
A little behind baseball. They didn't need to know that, but that's cool.
We get behind baseball here. It's all good. So, yeah, this show is going to be interesting, I think, because I don't know for sure. I know some of where you guys will lie on these, but I don't
You
remember.
know shit, Dan.
I'm gonna guess. I should have actually written down all my guesses, but yeah, we're gonna rank everything. We've got some show and tell, some really cool collectibles. I've been spending the last hour trying to hunt everything down, so that should be
most of the day.
Yeah, no, there were a few things I could not find, but yeah, I found most of it though, so that's all good. So yeah, guys, we're gonna rank everything. If you're new to our ranking shows, we'll count that down, then we'll start talking more specifically about whatever. We've got some categories tonight. Yeah, might as well get right into it.
Well, I was gonna
celebrate Texas Chainsaw.
And
Yes.
before we do
over.
these, I'm thinking, where did everyone discover Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Oh,
So
well, Chris, you're a special guest. Go for it. When did you first discover the franchise? Maybe it wasn't the first one.
It was the first one. I was 15. I was not allowed to see two movies growing up. Everything else was free range. One was Exorcist. The second one was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And when I was 15 years old, in rebellion against my mother, I rented the first one. and I watched it, and when it was over, I went, that was it? I need to see what happens, and immediately went to the video store and rented the second one, and then went, what the fuck? So, yeah, so I was about 15. I've always been a fan of the first one. It's one franchise, as I was kind of thinking about it today, I don't really hate any of them except for like two of the newer ones, but like for the most part, I found something to like in all of them. So, go figure.
Chris, I'm gonna co-sign with you there because, like, after revisiting all of them, there's actually not a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie that I hate. There's some I like less than others, but I don't hate any of them. I'll watch any of them. I don't remember when I discovered Texas Chainsaw, but I know once I did, it was off to the races. He was my second go-to guy. For me, it's Michael, then it's Leatherface, and I would say probably freshman year, so 14, 15.
Yeah. For me, it was the original film when I first saw it, and it's one of my first horror memories because I had to have been no older than maybe 3 or 4 years old, and my dad was just watching on TV. It was the scene where Grandpa is sucking on Sally's finger, and it traumatized the shit out of me when I was a little kid. So for a long time, I never rewatched the movies other than, for some reason, Next Generation, because I think it used to play on HBO or one of the
it was on Cinemax a lot.
Yeah, probably Cinemax or something. I remember that, but then I didn't revisit anything until maybe about 10 years ago. and I fell in love with the original movie from there. And since then, I kind of agree with Chris, minus maybe one movie. I do find something to enjoy out of all of them.
Yeah.
I bet you never sucked your thumb again after seeing that scene.
Probably not.
Like, fuck this shit.
I agree with Pugs about I don't hate any of them. I have issues with some, but I was probably about 10. It's one of my first horror memories. Like when I was, other than like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Halloween. And then, yeah, I guess it's still the big four, but my aunt had rented that and Night of the Living Dead. So they're like the earliest ones I remember. And she's the one who really got me into horror, other than just, the mainstream stuff. And yeah, I was hooked on that. And that's probably why Leatherface is my favorite and always has been.
Fuck yeah.
Nice. So pretty early in the game for me. It was the first one. It's interesting. I thought somebody would say 2 was, since there was that big gap of 12 years, that 2 might have been.
I was actually expecting Chris to say 2.
I thought that might have been, because again, it was such a big gap. It was a very taboo movie. Yeah, like Chris was saying, Exorcist and Texas Chainsaw were 2 just in particular. Your parents well, in my case, never saw them, but in their head, like, oh no, those are like the worst of the worst, which is funny because
really
well,
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre had a huge effect on me, but yeah, I had that same thought in my head. Although, like most people say when they watch the first film, you do think you see more than you actually see. I certainly, at least the first couple times I saw it, it took a little bit for it to register. It's like, man, there's really almost no blood in this.
Mostly dried.
Mostly all just dried. And but man, they sell the pain. And I'll talk a little bit more specifically about the movie, but it really captured my imagination. I've said this before. Texas Chainsaw I put above Halloween for me. That's how much I love the original film.
I can't do that, but I respect it. I got
very, very spend. You'll see when I show off some of my memorabilia. I'm a very big Texas Chainsaw fan. So, look forward to diving in.
Before we go any further, can you bring up Pitt's comment, because that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, of course.
Pitt, director of Christmas Cruelty and soon to be Easter Cruelty.
Yeah.
I do want to say too that the first one my mother did see at the drive-in. That was why I couldn't see it.
Okay.
I remember being excited. Well, here I'll tell my part story after this. Go ahead and read that, Pugs.
All right, so Pitt, my favorite is the first one. As a fat guy in a wheelchair that has also been killed by a psycho with a chainsaw, I can relate to Franklin. Shout out to Pitt.
Yep.
Shout out.
Our boy.
All right. Part 2. I remember when it came out in the ad in the newspaper, and I wanted to see it so bad, but of course it wasn't rated, so that you had to be 17 to see it.
No.
Even with a parent, that was like the not rated. Same thing with Reanimator. I remember that too, but I was very upset I couldn't go see Chainsaw 2.
Did you remember like the big billboard Breakfast Club art? I'm sure that
it's right there.
Yeah. No, but specifically like the billboard in Hollywood.
Well, I don't remember seeing it there. I know the billboard you're talking about.
That's so iconic.
Okay, well, anything else before we jump into our actual rankings? And
what was the first Texas Chainsaw you saw in a theater?
3.
Okay. I think for me, it was 2003. I never saw one in the theater before that.
Same.
Yeah, those gaps. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2003 for me.
Yeah. And seeing that movie in 2000, that movie, I'll get into it more specifically when we talk about it. But seeing that movie in the theater, that was the grimiest, dirtiest, grungiest movie that I think had been made up, because like everything had been pretty much like Scream knockoffs. They were all kind of glossy and slick, and This was just like
it's still glossy and slick. That's be
not
dirtier than normal. But
not compared to like Halloween H2O.
Oh, no.
It's a those are very clean cut movies. These are dirty, grimy, sweaty looking people for 90 minutes running around in an old house that's wet all the time. Like that movie just felt gross watching it in the theater. Like it was an experience. I actually took a girl on a date to go see that movie.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Have any of you seen the original in like a revival theater or a special setting?
I almost went 2 years ago when they were showing it at like my local theater that plays like classic horror movies during holidays and stuff, and I ended up not being able to go. I was really pissed off because it was the 4K scan too. But hopefully next year.
The only ones I have not seen in the theater, I mean, the ones that I did were an original run, obviously, but the new one, Leatherface, and Next Generation. Never got to see those in the theater.
I other than the last one, I saw Leatherface and in 4DX. Figured that shit out why they had that out in 4DX. And 4, yeah. So other than I've seen them all in theaters, other than the newest one, but the first two were in revivals. So
I was lucky enough to catch it at a revival. 2 of them, 3: Silent Movie Theater, New Beverly, Egyptian, and my favorite were this was the best thing ever. I saw it at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and a lot of people never saw it before. They asked like, "Oh, who's seen it?" Everyone, if you haven't seen it, raise your hand. And it was like an ocean of arms up. I'm like, really?
That's
and the movie was so effective on these people that haven't seen it. I was like, this movie still works. This is so cool.
What year was that? Because I was probably at the same one.
Oh, you went? Fuck yeah! When the 4K came out, so it was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, it's been at least.
Man, we knew each other then. Oh no, I don't think we did. Like 6 years then. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think it was right before. Yeah.
Fuck.
I got all your asses beat. I saw them both at a drive-in.
That's hard.
That is.
Yeah, we saw the second one together at the drive-in, didn't we?
I saw the first one without you, and it was blissful.
I was gonna say.
I sit outside. You sit in the car.
Dan is our Franklin.
That's fucked up. Maybe tonight I am. We'll see.
All right. Well, let's just go right. I guess we'll go counterclockwise.
All right.
See, now the other background would have probably been.
You would have actually.
Squashed armadillo.
That doesn't mean I got to go first, does it? Because I don't want to go first.
I can go first.
No, it's the same.
Okay.
All right. Counterclockwise would be. Let's go. Start with Dan. Dan,
okay.
Pugs. So
gotcha.
Counterclockwise.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
All right. So, first to last. All right. My favorite. I don't think any big shock with this one is the 1974 original. I think it's a perfect film. Nothing has made me feel what that movie made me feel, and I do like other Texas Chainsaw movies, but nothing is close. Not nearly in the league of the original. My second.
Hold up. Are we doing 1 through 9 or one? We all go take a turn.
Yeah, we'll all take a turn.
Right.
Oh, we are okay.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't it?
We'll all take a turn.
No, we don't. We doing. It's been a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, go. Then at the end, we all say our countdown. Go, Pugs.
Okay. For me, number 1, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. Just like Dan, it's unbeatable. Like I get people that like probably 2 more than 1, but for me, 1's untouchable. It's I'm gonna say it's a perfect fucking film. I love it to death. What about you, Mr. Chris?
Part 2 will be my first one.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Right. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Gonzo, balls to the wall, completely. It's a live action Looney Tunes movie with a shit ton of gore and lots of crazy
vibes. Yeah.
And fucking Dennis Hopper screaming at the top of his lungs, like singing religious hymns at the top of his lungs while chainsawing down a cave. So can't get much better than that.
They just filmed him. They just had a camera crew and just do what you do.
Let him loose.
My number one is also the original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think I agree with Pugs. Perfect movie, and like Dan said before, it shows you how much you can get done without showing a bunch of blood and guts. And usually, I'm a blood and guts guy, but the way it's done in that film is masterful, and it's a perfect movie. So, what about you, Todd?
I actually was going back and forth on this between a couple, maybe three. I don't want to say. I got to go with the original. Head cheese it is.
Yeah. Okay, that took me by surprise, because I'm like, I thought easy, like everything else sucks. Fucking original.
Well, I liked one a lot more. I've always liked one of them in particular, but one I liked a lot more this time.
Okay,
so we'll get to that.
Shout out to Cliff Booth for watching The Devils at the Egyptian Theater in LA. I was there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
What do we see at the Egyptian, Chris? Was it Day of the Dead?
We did. We saw Day of the Dead on a soundtrack release party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was there. Didn't know you guys.
Yeah, I think we did. Did we say hello then? I think at that point
we might have bumped in, but we didn't really. No.
I don't remember who. I don't remember who was there because I was too busy having a conversation with George Romero. So anyone else that came up to me afterwards, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Well, that's polite.
Dan,
I get it. Everyone understands.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Fucking polite or not, I had a 20-minute conversation with George Romero. Anyone else was inconsequential after that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dan.
All right.
Oh yeah, you're next.
All right, my second favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre is in fact the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1986. I hated this movie when I first saw it. I didn't get it because it just felt so different from the first one, and I didn't understand. The first one was so scary, and this felt like
the first one's a satire too. What are you talking
about? Well, I'm a little kid though. Remember?
Yeah, I didn't know the black comedy satire until years down the line,
and it definitely took it to a whole nother level.
Well, yeah, well, and people need to realize that when they watch 22.
But oh, trust me, it's going to get lively when we get to that. But no, 2 is just great in its own right. I did grow to love it later on. And yeah, it's just so memorable. Here's the thing. They had memorable characters. And that is something I will bring up later.
I think
Chop Top. Oh, go for it.
No, I was just, I'll get to it, but I think Chop Top really makes it a stronger film. Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to even explain what I thought when I first saw Chop Top. Like, what the hell is this? Like, it did. It took a few viewings.
I got Beetlejuice vibes from him. So I loved him instantly. But
a little more.
You ruined my Sonny Bono wig, you dog dick.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So my number 2. Are you done, Dan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2.
My number 2. Here's where we start to get a little rough. 2022. I fucking loved it. It's the most gory version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre we've ever had. So, thumbs up. 2 thumbs up from me. That's my number 2.
Okay,
Chris.
My number 2 is the first one. And it's not by a wide margin either. It was. I recently just watched the first one with my niece, who's 11 years old, and she had heard on the radio about them using real bones or animal bones in the movie, and she wanted to see this movie, and her mother asked me about it. She's like, "Is there anything in here she shouldn't be seeing?" And I said, "I mean, there's no sex or anything like that, and it's not even particularly gory." And I explained to her the PG thing. She's like, "All right, she can watch it." So we watched it. And she liked it. She actually liked Franklin. She thought Franklin was a very sympathetic character because she told me, at one point she's like, "I feel bad for the guy in the wheelchair." I said, "You feel bad for Franklin? Why?" And she's like, "Well, they're all really nasty to him. Like, think about it. Like, the guy gets cut by the psycho with a knife. They yell at him about it. They leave him outside in the heat, out downstairs, while they're upstairs having a great time to fend for himself. Then in the middle of the night, they leave him in the woods, and I'm like, oh my God, they are awful to him, aren't they?" So it kind of dawned on me. But then we watched part 2, and 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 that this is kind of what put it over the edge for me, because I felt like part 2 resonated a bit more with her and I. We had a better time watching it. We had a lot more fun, and it was more entertaining. And it was like, okay, this is more of a wild ride, and I do like this one more because it's not as visceral and you don't feel as sort of drained when it's over. So that's why part 1, because it is a near perfect movie in my opinion, but part 2 just edges it out a little bit for having that entertainment value. So
it's funny you say that. I notice more and more people liking Franklin these days. Like back in the day, it was like, oh man, he's such an annoying character. I hear more and more people like Franklin.
Yeah, don't get too ahead of yourself, Dan. There's a lot of people who still don't like you.
Yeah, Dan's trying to put it. Yeah, Franklin's a good dude.
Everybody.
Times have changed. We're a lot more patient now. So
some of you won't like me at the end of this, so we'll see.
Yeah, probably not.
No different than any other show or franchise show.
My number 2, it was battling out with another one of the sequels for a really long time, but I still am Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, mainly because of Chop Top's character. I think if you take his character out of that, something else would be in this spot, but just Chop Top with his one-liners and everything. I wish we would have got that spin-off movie because that would have been great. Not too late, though, but I'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Yeah, this is where it got really hard for me because the next 4 have switched like 4 or 5 times. So, but I went with 2 as my second favorite just because, my thing is like, I don't watch that one as much anymore because I've seen it so many times. So it's not my first one when I want to watch Chainsaw. I mean, right now it's the new one, but so yeah, I'm 2.
All right.
Cool,
Dan,
cool.
number 3.
All right, number 3. I don't know. Maybe this is where it starts. We'll see. My third favorite, which I don't quite get the hate. And I don't get the hate more and more as I go on. My third favorite is the 2003 remake.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
I thought he was going to say Leatherface. Yeah, I thought he was going to say Leatherface too.
No. I don't get the hate. There was a lot of hate for the
I'll
Texas
explain it when
Chainsaw remake. Now, it's not a perfect film by any means, but I thought they did a pretty damn good job. It's not like a Hills Have Eyes remake level, but I consider it a good remake. I mean, it's different. Once again, and it's going to be a theme later, memorable characters. R. Lee Ermey is awesome.
He's the glue that holds those two together.
He is. He is amazing. And so much more than just Full Metal Jacket. Man, I miss R. Lee Ermey. And yeah, I don't know what it is. I think more and more this one's gonna grow on people because I saw it in the theater and I was like, it's not the original, but goddamn, I thought it was pretty good. They at least went in the right direction, I think, more or less. So yeah, third TCM 2003.
Well, Dan, we have the same number 3, and I thought Todd was going to get mad at me for having that. That's what I was concerned with. Anyway, I'm not in love with the way Leatherface looks, but it looks gross enough and it's cool. I like the story, the vibe of Jessica Biel. And mind you, she does look out of place in the 70s, Todd. I understand that completely.
That's my biggest complaint.
She's hot as hell, and I want her to be okay. And some of these other movies, I don't give a shit about these people like Leatherface. Do your thing, cuz. But
that's not the worst line in the movie. But
I will fight you on that. If we'll see how that goes down.
I think Chris will have my back on that one.
Number 3 is 2003. It's pretty fun. Chris,
my number 3 is Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. So 3 is 3. I mean, it's weird. This one doesn't get brought up much these days. Even when people discuss the franchise, it kind of gets left behind. And everyone goes after Next Generation for kind of rebooting or trying to be a remake, but this one kind of is too.
It's 100% a remake.
I mean, Leatherface gets a chainsaw through his gut in the second one and blown up, and in the third one, he's just fine. Like he has a slight limp because he has that metal thing on his leg, So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I rewatched 3 recently, and I was like, this is a really good time. I mean, this is just fun. It's got one of my favorite lines in the entire franchise in it. So it's got some of the Viggo Mortensen's great. Ken Foray's great in it.
Yeah.
The family is cool. It was hard to replace those characters with other people, but I thought they all did a great job with what they had. And Jeff Burr was a great director for it. So yeah, I like 3 quite a bit.
Excellent.
All right.
So my number 3 is Texas Chainsaw 2022. I fucking adore that movie. I think it has the best kills in the whole franchise. Get more into that later, but and just the portrayal of Leatherface, and just the fact that I could just root for Leatherface throughout the whole movie and not feel bad about it. 2 thumbs up for me.
Well, I've never felt bad for rooting for Leatherface. As I said, he is our protagonist in all the films. Maybe not the remakes. Maybe that's why I don't like them. But we'll get to that. Maybe that's why I don't like them as much. Not to spoil or anything. Like I said, these are the hardest ones. But I'm with Chris 3. Like if I could do a 3-way tie, these next 3 would be 3-way.
Is that allowed?
No, but it's not. So I'm just putting that in the world. Yeah, 3. There's so much about 3 to love. Like you already mentioned the cast. I love the saw, the gold saw.
Yeah.
The Mask, I am a fan of. I won't say if it's my favorite, but yeah, I do really like that. Unfortunately, that's one that was, cut to shit by the MPAA. Even the uncut version is, but
it's cut, yeah, because they kind of prepped it to be cut by the MPAA, and then they got cut even more.
Yeah.
I think
always shoot more gore.
Yeah, I think that's one of my issues with it. Is that
well, I have 2 things to say. Pugs. What's a funny story is, for Night of the Demons 2, Brian Trenchard Smith shot additional gore on purpose, so when the MPAA cut the film, the movie would be exactly the way he wanted it. So every death in that movie had an extra 10 frames. When he wanted it to have 20, he'd add another 10. So it would, so it'd be 30. So they tell him to cut 10, and he'd have the 20 he wanted, and he was good.
Yeah, that's genius.
it worked. But I actually hosted a panel with R.A. Mahalahoff. I think I'm pronouncing
Leatherface from 3, yeah.
Leatherface from 3 and Bill Moseley. And so I asked him before we did the panel, how do I pronounce your name? I just don't want to screw it up. Like I've heard it, but I've never, and he tells me, he goes, I want you to screw it up because I'm going to do something when you screw it up. I was like, okay. And so he's like, yeah, we're going to have fun with this. And Bill Moseley's like, I want to get on this. What are you guys going to do? I said, all right, I got it. When I get up there, I'm going to tell everyone the Texas Chainsaw 3 is my favorite sequel. And then you do with that with whatever you want to do with it. He goes, I got it. So I get up there, I mispronounce R.A.'s last name, and he grabs me by the throat and starts choking me.
Awesome.
and I just start going, oh, and he starts yelling his name. And I said, from my favorite sequel, Texas Chainsaw 3. And then I hear from the end, lick my plate, you dog dick. And I'm like, whoops. That panel's on YouTube if anyone wants to check it out.
Oh, I am gonna have to. I've never watched that.
We'll have to throw it in the comments.
Link it, yeah.
It's a Rock and Shock panel from 2017 or something like that. So Andrew Divoff was on there too, and he was awesome. But yeah,
nice.
Who's up now?
You are. No, you went 3.
Dan.
Dan, you're
All right. My 4th favorite is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. Bleeds, in well with 2003. Again, some fantastic R. Lee Ermey moments. Probably my, in terms of the gore side of things, I thought they handled that really well. Also, the characters in that, nobody's really stupid. Nobody makes any overly dumb decisions for Texas Chainsaw, anyways.
Burning up your draft card. Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Well, he's going to. He had a plan at least.
He did have a plan. I forgot Matt Bomer was in there, who obviously went on to American Horror Story. Jordana Brewster, not talked about a lot. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. I was at a Fangoria panel for that movie, and I got to sit next to Arlie Ermy, who came in while the previous panel was ending, and oh man, that was
badass.
So cool. Dude, it was so cool. Like, and it was one of those things where I just, I don't even realize it's him, and I turn, I'm like, oh, he's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Earlier, it was so cool.
Did they immediately whisk you away with security coming in right after?
Can you get this fucking guy away from me?
somebody was removed that year, though. Ironically,
smells like cheese.
Somebody,
not for that guy. Not for.
Were you getting too close to Caroline Williams or something, Dan?
I was not. I would like to, but no, I was not.
I'm sure she'll be thrilled.
Very nice one.
Hit me up, Carolyn, if you're listening.
So my number 4.
She's going to hit you up with a restraining order.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Another one. He's got them all framed.
That would be so awesome. Just a wall of celebrity.
People like, hey,
orders. I think we need to make it happen.
I got 3 from Brink Stevens.
For me, number 4 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And for the reasons everybody said, because it's fucking awesome. I can't have them all as my second favorite, so I'm just playing the cards I've been dealt. The movie's fucking awesome. I would recommend it to anybody at any time. I'd watch it right now if you guys said, hey, you want to watch a movie? Fuck yeah, turn that bitch on. Chop Top, fucking wonderful. Stretch, Caroline Williams, fucking wonderful. So, and Dennis Hopper. Bring it all down. Come on, we fucking rules. So that's my number 4,
and it has a really cool set piece too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it opens up with Oingo Boingo.
No,
yeah. No one lives forever.
Yeah, shit rules. What about you, Mr. Chris? Quattro.
The 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. This movie surprised the ever-loving fuck out of me. I really was not expecting much from it because, let's be real, the last 2 movies weren't that great. So this one was like, okay, here we go again. Like, here we are at another lame attempt at trying to make a direct sequel and reboot this franchise that's been floundering for the last 15 years. I can't wait to see what they do with this. Oh boy. And then as soon as he broke that cop's arm and started stabbing him with the broken bone, I went, okay, I'm on board.
We're here for it.
Yeah. And the rest of the movie it's lean, it's mean, it's got some dumb shit going on in it, but I'm like, you know what? The shit that I see people complaining about when it comes to this movie and the issues they have, they accept in other franchises and other movies, no problem. They're just looking for excuses to bitch about it. I actually just had it out with a Halloween fan today about him being pissed that Sally gets a chainsaw through her gut and somehow survives. And I said, okay, well, how did you feel about Dr. Loomis returning in Halloween 4? He goes, what do you mean? Why would that be a problem? I said, the motherfucker got blown up in part 2, but he came back with like a burn on his cheek and a slight limp.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was fine. He goes, okay, touche. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So yeah.
Checkmate, motherfucker.
I fucking come prepared. Don't come at me. So 2022 would be number 4 on my list.
My number 4, just like Dan, is Texas Chainsaw: The Beginning. I fucking love that movie. I think it's a perfect origin story for that Leatherface. I love the way Leatherface looks in it too, with his half mask walking around like fucking Kane. I mean, the gore too. I mean, the gore I think takes it up a notch from the 2003 film, and yeah, I love everything about it, especially the ending. Like, the ending is just perfect. Everything you want in the origin story for a slasher. What about you, Todd?
I'm with Chris. I'm 2022. Same reasons he mentioned. And I know, I think a lot of people are, because I keep hearing people call it woke. I'm like, you don't get this as anti-woke. Like, literally, that's the point of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like
really kind of is.
It's like Chainsaw 2. People didn't get it. I mean, if you look at the history, he went after the hippies, the yuppies, and now the influencers.
Right.
It follows the Chainsaw formula, and it has an awesome fucking set piece. If
Yeah.
that was fucking Jason Voorhees, all these people who hate this movie would be on their fucking knees.
They would have lost their mind. And someone actually talked about it being anti-gun, and I was like, if anything, it kind of promotes the idea that if the right person has a gun, it can save lives, not destroy them.
Well, yeah,
and this is coming from a person who wants stricter gun regulations. Like, I understand, like, that's something I feel like this country needs, but this movie kind of propels that, like, if the right person has a weapon in a situation, they can actually stop a bad thing from happening. And it's like, so why would you look at it as an anti-gun message? Because the girl survived a school shooting and is uncomfortable around guns. That's fucking real life.
Do you think, and I'm curious to ask, well, all you guys this, with the cuts, because we all heard about the disastrous early screenings. Do you think they cut certain because the very beginning of the movie, I won't lie, I was like, oh shit, here we go. Do you think that it was the issue, that's like the 10 minutes or whatever it was that they supposedly trimmed?
I think they just tightened it up.
Okay, so you don't think any?
They didn't reshoot anything. So
yeah,
I'd be curious to see what was cut from it, because it's one of the few movies that I feel like needed more in some aspects. It was too short for me in one way, but I liked the fact that it was also short in the same hand, because it didn't give you enough time to process, frankly, some of the dumb shit that's going on. There are some questionable pieces in the film, but realistically, like, it's so quick, you don't have time to digest it until it's over. And then it kind of doesn't count, because you had to take time to think about it. And in the moment you accepted it. And a lot of people afterwards would start to think about it and go, well, wait, this didn't make sense. That didn't make sense. It's like, okay, well, then it doesn't count. If in the moment you bought it and you ran with it and you were fine with it, then the movie did its job in distracting you and doing the story justice by letting you accept that in that moment. So
I like that argument. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Or at number 4?
Yeah.
Mr. Kruger?
No, I already went. I said
I'm fucking lost.
And I did 2022.
It's
Dan. It's always fucking Dan.
All right, number 5. So this one's interesting. I'm picking Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, which it's strange because I do like this movie, yet I recognize it's not that great. I think what I really enjoy about it is, number one, Kate Hodge. I'm a big She-Wolf of London fan. That show I love. And I think Ken Foree is a really memorable character. Probably like the first really like capable guy to go up against Leatherface. I like the idea of a survivalist type dude clashing with Leatherface. It's not great though. I'll be honest. Like, I do have some nostalgia for it, but it's not a particularly good movie. But nonetheless,
see, here's the funny thing. Like, you say it's not a particularly good movie, but you enjoy it. So wouldn't that make it a good movie?
Oh no! When you come from a critic standpoint, there are things to criticize in that.
Well, yeah, you can do that on a 5 though too. You can find something to criticize. But I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I do enjoy it, but it's still. I mean, shit. It's I consider it better than multiple movies in the franchise, so it's not a bad spot.
And don't forget the next time you say that, Dan, to put on your top hat and your monocle.
When
you come at it from a critic standpoint,
people do celebrate mediocrity though a lot lately, which I will get into. It'll get interesting as we get
dude. A lot of the horror genre, frankly, is fairly mediocre. Like, movies you love are fairly mediocre to the outgoing public. Anyone outside looking in. I mean, horror is a great genre for us because we love it, but for real critics, it's not even considered a genre. It's considered a step above porn.
Well, I think we have.
I think Dan likes porn.
Fantastic movies in the genre, though. I mean,
I'm not arguing that, but I'm saying from a critic standpoint, if you're talking about any horror film from a real critic standpoint, horror's always been looked down upon.
Oh, sure. Well,
Silence of the Lambs was a horror movie until it was nominated for an Oscar, then all of a sudden became a thriller.
Oh yeah, we've ranted about that a lot. That's ridiculous. The fact that Toni Collette was not nominated for her acting in Hereditary is.
Look at it, you killed Todd.
Absolutely, I did kill Todd.
Todd's taking a stand. I won't tolerate this bullshit.
Yeah, it has a lot of problems, but it's fun. I kind of wish we had more Ken Foree. Every time I watch it, Ken Foree doesn't have a ton of screen time in that, really. I would have liked to have followed him the whole time.
I agree with that statement. For me, my number 5 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre Beginning. That movie's fucking mean, but I look at it more as like a Sheriff Hoyt.
Are we just not going to acknowledge the bullshit that's going on right now with Todd? What is happening?
No.
He shifted to.
He looks like he's in a spaceship somewhere. Where are you?
I'm in the exact spot.
Yeah.
Shifted to lower quality. He's DVD now or VHS.
Yeah.
Maybe beta.
Yeah. Number 5 for me is The Beginning. It's Arlie Ermy. That's his show, and he fucking runs it well. I do really like that fucking movie. Yeah, it's good. Leatherface is awesome. Actually, I like that look more than the 2003 one. It's like maybe just keep it half, or I don't know. You had something going on. You're on point. Chris.
All right, Chris.
Sorry, what the?
Fixing shit.
There you go.
What? Now there's an
echo. Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to turn off the phone gimmick.
Oh,
Pay no
Jesus.
attention to the guy behind the window.
It's the camera flash.
We're number 5. What we're at?
Yes.
Number 5.
Okay.
Yes.
My number 5 might be a little controversial because it's not one that people bring up often, but I've often defended this movie because I'm like, you know what, through and through, this is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. It delivers all the elements that you're looking for. There's just one thing about it that I don't like, but other than that, I think it's pretty decent. Is Next Generation. Matthew McConaughey in that movie is having a blast from start to finish, and he is an utter
Brave
delight
actor.
to watch. Yeah.
I have one complaint.
He is an utter delight to watch. Renee Zellweger is good. The faults in the movie are the rest of the kids. The rest of the kids, they're really terrible actors. All of them. They're awful. Every line is delivered like they're half asleep. I think they were drugged maybe to be a part of the movie. I don't know. But everybody else is fantastic. And the biggest issue I have with it is the government subplot thing. That was kind of stupid, but also at the same time, it kind of makes it all sort of make some sense, because you figure if there's this family, even in the middle of nowhere, killing people willy-nilly, someone eventually is going to step in to do something about it. So it kind of makes sense that the government sort of like monitoring the situation and studying it and letting them do their thing versus like just not acknowledging it at all.
So but this is the original Suicide Squad then, right?
Sort of, yeah. But like I think that concept wasn't really realized very well, and it also wasn't told very well. Sort of like Cabin in the Woods kind of a deal thing. You know, like we're letting this bad shit happen because we want to see what causes this kind of thing to happen in a normal setting. What fear does to people, you know. What? So I like the concept, just the execution wasn't very good. But yeah, so Next Generation for me is I've always thought was a pretty decent little movie. I do say if you're going to watch it, watch the Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre cut. There's a good 10 minutes that they cut out of that movie for the U.S. release, and a lot of it is Renee Zellweger's character development, which she's the main character, and she kind of needs it because it gives her character an arc later in the film. Because earlier she's being sexually abused by her father, and later in the movie she finds her strength and tells all these psychos to fuck off. Literally tells one of them to shut the fuck up, and she's going to leave. So it's like, oh wow, you gave her an arc in this film, but it's gone if you watch the U.S. version because she's just this timid girl who all of a sudden is loud.
And stuff's also out of order in that version too. It's not just extra stuff. It's like arranged different too.
Yeah, it was weird, but yeah, that's the and it's on the Blu-ray, so it's easier to find nowadays. So
yeah,
it's funny how they all disavowed the film. Although Zellweger a while back, I think, actually said something kind about it. Finally,
it's sort of Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
He got interviewed.
It's their publicist.
Finally,
yeah, it's not that. No, it was never them. It's right. Todd's right. It's their publicist. It was never them. They never spoke ill about either film. Either one of them never spoke ill about the film. When Jerry Maguire came out, their publicist is the one that blocked that movie completely. They didn't want them associated with it.
Can you blame McConaughey though? Like in that case, like
It's not. It wasn't him. It was the publicist, Stan.
No, I'm saying though, could you blame? I would probably.
What, because he's talking about banging underage girls in his next movie, but that's okay.
I never saw Jerry Maguire.
No, I meant Dazed and Confused would have been his next.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Jerry Maguire's dark.
And we get the same line. All right. Just delivered differently.
Right. Yeah.
That's literally in every one of his movies.
Yeah, but we're talking about Texas Chainsaw and made it.
He said in his interview that he had a blast making it, and it was his first movie, and he had a lot of fun, and it
helped him move to California. He never once said he regretted doing it. It was his publicity department that completely were just like, nope, this movie's not good. We can't have Columbia capitalizing on the success of our client and bury the fucking thing.
Yeah, I think his performance actually has kept me from hating it now, because I used to hate the movie.
A lot of people have.
But rewatching it for this ranking show, I actually think his performance is fucking awesome, and his character totally makes the whole thing for me. I think my biggest issue is just like Leatherface is such a small part of it, and like he's kind of just like a background character, doesn't have like any like awesome scenes like he does, in the other movies, but Matthew McConaughey definitely fixes it. So yeah, it's to me. So my number 5 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. For a long time, this was really high up on my list, but the beginning really, I think, in comparison, is a better movie. At least for me, it gives me the things that I want out of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But the 2003 remake is still good. I love Leatherface's look in that movie. Maybe not when he puts on that one shitty mask, but we can get into that later. But it is a good film. But looking back, like, it doesn't have these iconic kills that I think some.
But there's one.
I think there's one like really good kill, but outside of that, everything else is, I think other movies have better ones. And me being the gore hound, I think I remembered it having more brutality than it really does in it. But yeah, it's still a great one. So that's my number 5.
Are we talking about the 2003 one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Pugs Kruger, just to clarify.
Yeah. So Todd?
I am number 4 also, Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, my issue with it is it's just one thing. I don't mind the subplot. I don't mind this. I don't mind that. Leatherface is too anorexic in this one. That's my biggest thing. He's really skinny. No, he's like skinny compared to any other Leatherface. Watch him. He's super thin. And his mask isn't there. Like, it's not great. But I don't hate the mask. Which, you don't think he was small, Chris? He was like literally dying, I believe, when they were making it.
He died in 2001.
Yeah.
I
like how you're just nonchalant about it. Well, he was dying while he was.
It was like a Chadwick Boseman situation, whatever.
I don't think he was that thin, though. I think he was.
I don't think so either. I'm gonna look it up right now because I'm gonna look at him to see what he looks like.
I don't think he was the bulk.
You know when he doesn't though? When he's the chainsaw swing at the end, when he's in the drag, he doesn't look small then.
Well,
but when he's in the military, when he's in the military gimmick, he looks frail. Like with this,
he does look like a hobo or something. Like, not to be an asshole or anything, but like like a homeless trying to keep warm.
I mean, Gunnar Hansen was a big guy, but he wasn't huge. I mean, neither was Bill Johnson in Part 2. I mean, Bill Johnson actually, I think, is a lot smaller than this guy was.
But they're not.
He probably won Todd over with the suit, though.
Yeah, and well, not only that. I mean, it stood out to me because he was small. He just looked too skinny, too small.
The most physically imposing and bulky, if nothing else, was probably Benarski. I never really stood right next to him, but at least
he's a big motherfucker.
That hate makes you strong.
That hate does make you strong.
Chip Shrek from Batman Returns.
Didn't you, Pugs, give him the Zangief half thumbs up, and he wouldn't do it back?
And then he made fun of some person that had a mental handicap. And I was like, this guy's a real piece of shit, but all right. It was a friend of his. They were in the same group, so it wasn't like a stranger. He was fucking being a total asshole. Still a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I've seen him get kicked out of BLS concerts. Yeah, he's a handful.
Well, since we don't have to say it, go ahead, read it, Bugs.
Jada Stingray, can I be the first to say that Andrew Bernarski is a piece of human feces?
Yeah, you thought you said it. I thought it. So good on you.
Like, I don't think you're the first to say it. But,
You're the first to say it tonight.
Yeah.
But we all know it.
All right.
All right, and I win. I said 4. That's my only complaint. I think Leatherface is a little too frail.
I think you need to rewatch it again.
I literally rewatched every one of these movies.
I think you need to lay off the edibles when you watch it again next time.
I don't know about that.
I disagree with that.
But I've thought that since the first time I saw it, which I did actually see 4 at the art house out here when it first came out. I was so excited. So because this one's set on the shelf for what was it, 2-3 years, Chris? Do you remember?
Something like that. Yeah.
I remember it being at least that. Because it's like it was torture, and then it was torture when I saw it. But it was it was a long wait. I think 3 years, or was it closer to 4?
I'd have to look.
Yeah.
It should have been around the same time as Dazed and Confused, because McConaughey also shot that in Texas before he moved.
Yeah.
After that, so I'd have to look up the years. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay,
I can look, but
so we're at number 6 now.
Yes.
All right, my 6. I thought this actually might have gone higher at first, but revisiting it, I kind of have a love-hate thing with this movie, and that's Texas Chainsaw 3D. I will say, first of all, Alexandra Daddario is the hottest 40-year-old that's ever lived, I think, in the movie.
They don't add too good over there.
There's a theme. Like, when we get from the first sequel, they're all different. This is fun. There's stuff I like. There's stuff I don't like. But I do enjoy this movie. I wish just they could have tweaked a few little things.
Like not make it at all?
No, it's the timeline issue.
No, it's not just the timeline issue.
That's the biggest thing for me. That's a big thing.
It is, because it just like, oh God.
Gravity doesn't work in that movie, for the record.
No, it does not, but thank God it does on True Detective.
Fuck yeah!
I can't, like, I know people that absolutely love Texas Chainsaw 3D that probably would have put it at like number 2.
Are they in mental facilities, or
junkies?
Do you know them from the home?
They're probably in the chat right now, so you can boo Chris now. Chris is just taking the Franklin title from me.
You are the undisputed, reigning, defending Franklin.
I'll take it back before we get to the end of the list.
I don't think anyone can take that title from you, Dan.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw 3D is not exactly what I look for in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it certainly has its moments. And I will say, Dan Yeager, one of the nicest guys you can possibly meet. I don't know if any of you.
The anti-Bernarski.
Yeah, I've heard he's addressed Bernarski before at conventions. I don't know if that's true, but
he's one that like really loves the character. So
yeah. It's like Derek Mears. Like he's so nice, he makes you want to like his movie more. So yeah, if you ever get a chance to meet him, he's really
that movie.
I like the movie on its own is fucking great.
Yeah,
I'm sure that will come.
Yeah, and Tanaya Raymond, I actually would put her above Alexandra Daddario. Personally.
You're just on drugs. Yeah. Again, Franklin, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so that's my 6.
All right. Well, my 6 is Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. For all the reasons y'all said, it's fucking awesome. It's just I happen to like some a little more. Ken Foray, fuck yeah. That's it.
All right. My number 6 is The Beginning. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. I like that one a bit more than the remake. These ones would have ranked higher once upon a time. But Andrew Bernarski is such a human piece of shit that watching him in these movies knocks him down for me. I know it's like you got to disassociate the artist from the art, right? So like I should be able to watch these and be like, hey, you know, it's not all him, it's other people too, but he's just such a vile human being that is probably going to outlive all of us, and that's a fucking crying shame.
I shouldn't have tagged him.
No, you should have.
Go for it.
He knows he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He wears that badge proudly. Actually,
you could comment in the comments.
I don't think there's any. Then he's going to have any power to dispute that. And if he wants to, go for it. But yeah, so I mean, I like the movie. It's I like that they brought back the cannibal angle because that was kind of missing from the remake. So I mean, they alluded to it, but they didn't really like say that's what was going on. Mm-hmm. So I like that they sort of just straight up brought that back into the fold. I wish it had come out first. I really wish it wasn't a prequel, because the only problem with it being a prequel is you knew how it was going to end. There was another one after it. Yeah,
it suffers from that prequelitis because you're just watching like they have to hit this, before the movie can end.
Yeah,
even them out. I love that line.
The only thing that pisses me off about Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning is when that chick gets flung through the window and she's just like fine. Like she goes flying through a fucking car window and ends up in the field because like 100 feet away, and she just gets up and brushes it off like nothing.
Pugs. Sorry, Kruger. Sorry, my brain's right. She was a stunt woman, man, and this was the 60s. The windows are really thin back then. You could fly through them with no problem. You just had to tuck and roll.
Fair enough. You know, come on,
tuck your chin.
So my number 6 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: Next Generation. Like I said, Matthew McConaughey has made me grow from hating that movie to actually enjoying it to a certain extent. You know, I don't love it, but I don't dread it now every time I, want to watch them all. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. All right. These were the 3, 22, 4, and 3D that I could not pick in order because I love all 3. Like I couldn't pick where to put them. Like at 1.3 was the 4th, it was the 5th, and now it's the 6th. It's moved around. Considering it's 3D and I don't have it at 3, it's kind of a shocker. So yeah, I love Chainsaw 3. And okay, here it is. I know everyone likes to call out "Do your thing, cuz," but to me, the most annoying line in this movie is "Welcome to Texas, motherfucker." When that bitch has been in Texas for about 20 fucking minutes. Yeah, that one drives me insane.
I will give you this. That line is fucking stupid. However, she wasn't dealing with Leatherface, and I was offended that involves Leatherface. Do your thing, cuz, with the fucking button-up flannel that doesn't fucking work. That just does not work like that.
So after that,
it bothers me. Do your thing, cuz, and no, I think that's a way worse line. But I will concede that line is fucking stupid too.
But here's the thing: I know Chris is there on Halloween now with Trick or Treat, motherfucker, can make him laugh. Do your thing, cuz makes me laugh. So maybe someone. I'm not saying you, Chris, on this movie, but maybe it'll become more entertaining. Like it is.
Hasn't yet. So.
No. It took Halloween 8 till this year. I know Chris had the same thing when he rewatched.
Yeah, it took Halloween Kills, the worst fucking movie that came out last year, to get me to rewatch Halloween Resurrection to go, you know what? Not that bad. I saw
Evil Dies Tonight is a better line.
Oh God, yeah, I won't even argue that. Actually, I saw Texas Chainsaw 3D in theaters with my friend Kevin and his friend Phil. And we saw it in 3D. It was like $17 to go see this fucking movie in 3D. Yeah. Then when you're watching a movie with people and it's this awkward quiet, the silence of like no one's having a good time, and we're not quiet because we're liking the movie or enjoying it. We're quiet because we just can't believe we spent nearly $20 to watch this. So midway at that midpoint in the movie where she yells, "Welcome to Texas, motherfucker," my friend Kevin, as loud as he can, goes, "Bitch, you ain't even from here." See? He gets it. And the entire fucking audience lost it. And for the next 35 minutes, it was Kevin heckling the movie. And people came up to him and thanked him for saving the movie. Because they and then when he was driving home, he's like me, when he's pissed, he speeds. We were doing 120 on the way home. Because he kept getting more and more mad about seeing this fucking movie. I'm sitting there like this, Just as he's going on, like, yep. It was bad. Please slow the fuck down.
Just don't make it the last movie you ever see.
I feel like there's still a real life Nubbins in the ditch somewhere because of that.
Yeah.
I did. I actually saw this with some of the cast there.
Oh, good. Did you kick them?
No, because I liked the movie.
I almost them why.
I almost grabbed my 3D glasses I still got. Sean Sippos, who played Daryl, and Scott Eastwood, who played Carl, were both there. So I got like 10 of the exclusive screening posters signed. So
right on.
They're not. I wish this was the poster that was signed, which you can't see is the remake or the 3D mask one with all the different masks.
You should have just tapped Scott as like, is your dad here? I've got some stuff.
I didn't even.
You should arrange the fight since Dan thinks he can beat up Clint Eastwood.
This is true.
He's like 98 years old.
He will fuck you up, Dan.
Chris, wait.
I'm a big guy.
Chris has not been involved in this. Chris, do you think Clint Eastwood today could still be Dan's ass?
Absolutely.
In the chat, chime in. Could 92-year-old Chris?
I will tie one arm behind my back and beat the shit out of the old ass.
Chime in on the chat if Clint Eastwood.
If you tie one hand behind your back, that just means she's going to kick your ass a lot quicker because you want to have both to hold up to stop him.
He's 90 years old. He's going to.
Dan, he's going to kick you in the dick with such force that you will be out.
He's lived to 94. He's been in real fights. He's a tough dude. Dan, do not take that fight.
He can fight on Patreon. Patreon.com/FleshFoodFeatures, where you will see Dan beat the shit out of a 90-year-old.
That's false advertisement. Don't do that.
Dan's just gonna find some fucking 90-year-old in a wheelchair and beat him up.
Close enough. See,
just dress him up as Dirty Harry.
You know what? If you can make that happen, that'll be on Patreon. All right. Was it? Yeah. No. Yeah. Now it's Dan.
Yeah. Where are we?
All right. We're on number 7. So going into this, just the impressions I had of the movie. Some I'd watched fairly recently. Others it had been a long time. My first and last place I thought were just going to be absolute. 7 and 8 I've flipped a lot. So I'm going to say 7 is about that much better than 8. And that is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. My thing with this movie, I could watch just a highlight reel of the kills and get the same experience of actually watching the movie. The kills are good. It feels more like a Hatchet sequel, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it feels more like Victor Crowley than Leatherface. There's a lot I don't like about this movie. I don't like the mask. A lot of people have made the argument about, all horror slasher characters are forgettable. I disagree.
I don't think so.
There's not a lot of character development in the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but you like and care about those characters. In this one, I didn't give a fuck.
Really? Wait. Time out. Sally, you like the characters in Texas Chainsaw other than Leatherface?
The first one? Yes, absolutely. I thought they were all interesting. Lots of memorable.
I was just waiting for all to die.
Back up. Hold on. I got
totally disagree.
Other than Sally or Franklin, Dan, who's your favorite character in Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
74?
Yeah. Yes. Name any other character that isn't one of the. Nope, not that isn't one of the family. Name one of the people.
Oh, I'm saying all characters. I'm not just.
I'm talking about. No, listen. You just got done saying that all those characters are very well developed and fleshed out. You liked all of them.
No, I didn't. I did not say they were.
Did he say that? Am I crazy?
That's what I heard.
I said you still care about them. They aren't developed.
But you just said that, and then you picked it as number 1. So if it's your number 1 favorite, give me a name of any other character in that film besides Sally, Franklin, Leatherface, or anybody related to Leatherface.
I like Terry McMinn.
I
like.
What's the character's name?
That's Pam. He doesn't know.
There you go.
Jerry, Pam, Kirk.
There's nobody I disliked in that movie.
Okay, but my point is
of course not, Frank.
But why are you celebrating mediocrity? Nobody's going to remember anybody from.
I'm glad I don't like them, so I can watch them die painfully.
That's cool. I get that, but I'm saying 2022, the characters are dog shit.
Richter or whatever the redneck name is. He is awesome.
Yeah. They might have been better off having it be Richter carry the whole movie. I mean, but
Richter and the sister who survives the school shooting. I can't remember her name because I only saw the movie the one time.
Oh, I didn't.
Those characters are fine.
Yeah,
do you think anybody's going to have them on posters on their wall?
Sure.
Does anybody have anyone besides Leatherface on posters?
I don't have any fucking
come on.
Well, I do.
I was so happy you tied up that loose end and fucking off that bitch. So,
you've got their signatures. That's a different story. If you met these people, you would get their signatures.
I would not pay money to get the. I don't even.
You absolutely would. If they did a reunion or something,
I've seen your room.
I've seen your room. You absolutely would.
I wouldn't pay money for them. I don't get it. I don't
believe that for a second. Like, you paid for an autograph for something for Parada 3.
Hold on.
Well, D for God's sakes.
You paid for the Virgil autograph. That's all.
He was held up.
I did, but I was mugged by Virgil.
So now you were mugged by Virgil.
But here's the thing, and I will say one thing about this movie, whether you're in the liked it or hate it camp, it's weird the fighting over this movie. I mean,
I don't engage
cool if you like it. Oh no, both camps are being douchebags. Like honestly,
I don't engage either way. I didn't do that with Halloween.
Like I don't understand why people are dying on the hill over this.
I'll tell you what,
it's a mindless gore fest, and it's fine. Some people like it, some people hate it. I don't think it's a good Texas Chainsaw.
I'll tell you the difference between this and Halloween Kills to say Scream. The people who watch Scream went to the theater and paid for it. The people who watch Kills and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So these are people that wouldn't normally see it because they're not going to like that, get to watch it at home. So basically the whole community watches it and then everyone has an opinion. You didn't have this with Scream because you had to go to the theater and pay for a ticket or any other horror film that is strictly theaters.
All these cheap fucks.
No, it literally, like, if it's a streaming one, this is what it happens. That's when
Halloween Kills was on Peacock. Yeah, so
yeah, it's what happens.
You can get to it.
This will. I think this will stay right where it is. I mean, I gave it a 2.5. I didn't, rip it apart. It's a Hatchet sequel. It's not what I would consider.
So that it's a Friday the 13th, like I said, because a Hatchet sequel is
Hatchet goes a little more, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't get the fighting over it. I actually, I don't want to get ahead of myself with the other rankings, so I'll bring that up next. But I just don't understand. I could watch the highlight. I don't understand the rewatches because I could just watch the show highlight reel and save time.
Because I want to watch. Yeah, I want to watch. I want to watch these little fucks get killed. So I need more.
It's an hour and 23 minutes long. It's not a 2-hour movie. It doesn't even take up. It would barely take up an hour lunch break if you wanted to watch the whole thing in one sitting. It's not a highlight reel. Doesn't make any sense. Like it's the whole movie is a fucking highlight reel.
When you could do that for any horror movie, I mean, fucking one of the most successful horror YouTubers puts out kill counts like fucking weekly.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I think what Dan is trying to say is the kills are the highlight of the film. Am I speaking out of turn?
That's about the only thing that I like about it.
Yeah, maybe for you though, but like for me, I think Leatherface, the relationship with the mother, and it's channeling Ed Gein and shit like that, and the school shooter character I enjoyed, and just the fact that I could sit back and be like, you know what, Leatherface, do your thing, cuz, and fucking murder all these motherfuckers.
It also people, the scene where she's in the garage looking at the gun and the guy. And the character, again, I've only seen it the one time, so I'm not remembering names. But when she tells him I survived a shooting, he's like, oh my God, I can't imagine what that was like for you. I'm sorry. Yeah. And that dialogue is two people on opposite sides of the political spectrum, obviously, having a civil conversation and finding a common ground.
So
and
pure
a fucking
fantasy.
horror. But that's something that I think that people aren't giving this movie credit for. Is they're calling it anti this and anti that, and there's this thing in the middle where it shows these two people being able to be in the same room, have a civil discussion about something, and finding a common understanding for each other. And then later on, like I said earlier, she sort of finds out in the right hands, a capable weapon can stop a bad thing from happening.
Exactly.
So this movie isn't just it's got some, some violent kills, and that it's got more meat to it than people are giving it credit for.
Do you
Yourself
think
included.
that any of that was intentional, anyways?
Of course, it was intentional. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there. It doesn't.
No.
That's not something that was subtextually put in. That's a direct scene in the film that has a conversation between two people finding common ground. I mean, you can't get more literal than that.
I think one of my other big issues, and it's not just an issue with this movie, I really need that isolation and that just
they had fucking isolation.
No, they did it. You see people the whole time. It's not
that whole group is
They
in an
were in the
isolated
middle.
area.
They were
So
6
you
hours
just
from
want less
anywhere.
people.
It doesn't make you feel what you feel in the original. That is isolation. And what I'm saying is I don't want a Texas Chainsaw Massacre that takes place in modern times now.
See, and this is what I hit.
And that's my taste. That's my taste.
And that's fine. And I brought that up. And
Yeah.
and that's what I was trying to explain to you. Any of these direct sequels, you're not going to like. Like if they would have set this immediately after the events of one, kind of like 3D did at the very beginning, it was continuing it on. Like if it would have been more that format, but stayed in the time, I think you would have liked it more. Like any of these direct remakes in general, not just this.
Yeah, there's one movie in particular that was not good, and I'll get into it, but I would have liked to have taken a fresh stab at that basic premise. And I'll get there. So
Right.
so
Where are we at now?
I was 6, then
We're at number 7, right? 7.
No, you're 6.
No, you're 6. You're 7, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
7.
Yeah.
My bad. We had
that's
the
cool.
combo and it threw it off. Sorry.
All good. My number 7 is Next Generation. I like this movie a lot. I actually like it more than I remember, but I've never like poo-pooed on it. But the Return of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the far better version. And I would love like a spin-off movie of what the government was up to. Like, let's clear some of that up. What is it like? Just a rich Illuminati type deal, or what are we getting from this? That intrigued the fuck out of me. If they could connect it to Chris with, you said, what the fuck, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Make that the same universe. I'll lose my shit. That'd be fucking cool. So that's number 7 for me. Yeah. What are you, Chris? What's number 7?
Number 7 for me is the 2003 remake. I watched this. This one used to rank a lot higher, and Todd knows that because Todd and I had many conversations about why I thought you should look at the movie again. But I watched it not too long ago, and I didn't hate it, but I looked at it and I went,
you saw the flaws that were there.
Yeah, I'm like, I see where the problems are here. I don't agree with you in the sense that it's very slick looking. I think it's a very unique looking film, but slick is not the word I choose to use.
It's Hollywood gritty. It's not really gritty.
Yeah, but Hollywood gritty didn't really exist then, though. Like that was kind of people don't remember that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2003 movie, was kind of one of the first movies in that. Like I said, this is coming off of the Scream generation of really slick, clean cut kids, clean movies. Rich families, all this stuff. Like there was
everyone had air conditioning,
right? Yeah, where all and this movie comes along. It's in old buildings. Like I said, everyone's always sweating. You can almost kind of smell it at times. Where and when Pugs brought up, God damn it, fucking Kruger, sorry, buddy. When he brought up the brutality thing, I'm like, dude, a guy gets his leg sawed off and then gets salt put on it, and then like another guy gets a chainsaw up the crotch, but
you don't see it.
You do. Yeah, you do. It's there. It's cut, but it's there.
Yeah,
you definitely see it going up, but it's there. And I think it was the beginning is when somebody's fingernails come off. It was this one. He's being dragged out. That shit gets me every time. That's like, well, you got to do that. I mean, I still dug it. I still liked it, but I was like, okay, I get why this one doesn't really click with a lot of people, but and Andrew Bryniarski once again kind of fucked it down. So
I think the brutality thing is more so me just like I watched it right before I watched the 2022 one, and then watched it after just to make sure that my mind isn't playing tricks on me. And I mean, in comparison to that, and I think the New Beginning's a little bit more brutal. But it still is brutal, but just not as brutal as the other ones.
Well, also too, and this is what the perspective I would take on it. Again, it was one of the first ones to kind of tread on that line, right? In 2003. Yeah. So The Beginning was 2006, which was that after Hills Have Eyes? Did Hills
Yes.
Have Eyes already come
Hills
out?
Have-
That movie was fucking brutal as hell.
Mhm.
The newer one, I mean, Walking Dead gets away with more than Texas Chainsaw 2003 did on TV. So you know, you got to look at the times those movies came out. I mean, even The Beginning being 3 years later, still was able to get away with a lot more. I think with the newer one, with the 2003 one, they were probably focusing more on delivering a solid film versus delivering graphic violence, because they knew what they were kind of up against, and they were one of the first, like, you know, it is the remake that started the remake craze. Let's be real, like that is like everybody was against this movie from the start. You know, I mean, the last movie that had gotten remade before it was what, Night of the Living Dead in 1990. So we're talking like a 13-year gap before something else was getting, like, you know, Sacrilegious was getting remade. Nobody was touching franchise material for remakes, you know. So this movie had a lot going against it, and I'll never forget when this movie came out. They hosted a premiere of it, and I think it was in Los Angeles, and they invited a ton of Texas Chainsaw fans. They like kind of sought them out and said, "Come watch it." And all these people were going into the screening going, "This movie is going to suck. Like, how dare they? Like, we're going to fucking hate it." They came out and they were in love. Nice. You know, they were just like, "That was great. That was brutal. It wasn't what we expected. Oh my God!" Like, you know, I'm sure there are people who walked out of it going, "Yep, they fucked it up." But I remember that turnaround, and more people were kind of coming around to it, going like, "Yeah, this was really not what we expected." I think people expected more of a Scream type of a movie, and then they didn't get that. And I'm sorry, but when that girl shoots herself in the mouth and the camera is watching them scream, and goes at the back of her head, and the head falls back, that's a beautiful fucking sequence.
Oh, and the Army dialogue about it, where he's like, just like,
yeah. And it goes all the way out the back window. It's one continuous shot.
Yeah.
So visually, the movie's fucking amazing. I don't have a problem with the cast. I don't have a problem with the effects. My issue lies solely with Bernarski playing Leatherface, but thankfully he wears a mask, so it's fine.
Or at least half of one in the other.
Yeah. So I mean, so there you go. So I mean, yeah, that would be my number 7.
Yeah, I was shocked how low it was. I am.
My number 7 is Texas Chainsaw 3D. I do kind of like the movie now, but when I first watched it, I really just, the dialogue I thought was stupid. The one thing that I do really like about it, and even though it's a short-lived sequence, having Bill Moseley in there playing the cook is kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, if anybody was going to do it, at least you brought him in for that, even though I would have preferred seeing him as Chop Top. But
we all would.
The kills in the movie are pretty good, but there are some horrific CGI sequences in it that really take you out of the movie. I don't mind
Leatherface in the 3D.
I don't really mind.
It looks good in 3D. I'm sorry. the kills do.
Nope. That doesn't save it.
I know, but I'm saying the kills look better in 3D than they do flat.
When I first watched the movie, I really hated Leatherface's look, but I think it kind of, I don't know, now that I've rewatched it a few times, it's kind of grown on me a little bit. But it's still, you know, down there on the list of, you know, as far as in comparison to the other movies, it's, you know, one of the worst he's ever looked, but it does have its own unique charm. But yeah, I get why people hate it. I really don't understand how people like love it. Like Dan, you said the people that, you know, have it as, you know, up there as probably like their number 2. I mean, by all means, different strokes for different folks, but I don't see how it's better than a lot of the sequels that we got.
I'll tell you like this, my order changed on the rewatch because this would have been my 3rd favorite otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So, or that would have been, sorry.
So what about you, Todd? Your number 7?
Well, here we go. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning. I think the fact that it's more brutal. And this one I did not like because it suffers from sequelitis for a long time.
Prequel.
Prequelitis.
Where whatever.
Well, I said it earlier. You have to hit this, and this, and this. So it's like, I didn't care, but it's grown on me. And I never, well, no, actually, that's when we get to the other one. But yeah, I do like it now. So I no longer hate it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, that is.
I don't hate any of them.
Whenever they greenlight like a prequel for anything, I'm just like, you know, like we just know it kills.
Yet it doesn't bother me in the thing that they're trying to hit everything. Other things bother me, but not that they're trying to hit everything. So, go figure.
No, that. All right, well, we're to number 8. We're coming along here. So, going into my number 8, I thought I thought maybe this could go up a couple notches because it's one that I do feel has good ideas. Unfortunately, watching it again, it isn't very good. But Leatherface, I like kind of what they were going for. It's not executed well, but I do kind of. There's moments of this movie where it's not half bad. Unfortunately, the end product, it just doesn't quite work. I think the heart was in the right place. I of all of them, I wouldn't mind seeing somebody like try and like remake this better. I actually did like the twist. Some people don't like that, but I thought the twist was fine.
Okay, Dan, I was with you for a little bit.
He had time to get the gut.
All right, calm down, Vince Russo booking. Let's just let it go.
But I like Lily Taylor. It's not a good movie. I really thought this one might go up a notch. I knew it would be towards the bottom of the list, though, and it still is.
Cool. All right, so we're on number 8, right? I am 3D as my number 8, and I saw it opening weekend. I saw it twice because after the first time, I'm like, "There's no way I don't like this movie that much." And I had it confirmed. Like, no, this is dumb. But
it's the shirt. It's the gravity.
But I don't hate it. I just don't think it's very fucking good. But there's some eye candy and there's some fun gore bits. So and also Marilyn Burns. So I'm not gonna fucking shit on that. Yeah, this is the one I'll probably go to the least, even though it has that goddess of a woman. But yeah, this one's not for me. No for me, dog.
You know what? Speaking of the cameo, we did mention at the very end of Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we have a cameo of both Marilyn Burns and Gunnar Hansen.
Yep, in the hospital.
On the stretcher and pushing him. Yeah, totally forgot that. So, yeah, we put it out there.
I think 3D did have a lot of goodwill for bringing in Gunnar, who got lowballed, and that's why we never got him back as Leatherface.
Well, everyone knows what part he was asked to play in the remake because it's obvious it should have been him.
I am gonna go with Pugs. 3D is just a smidge above my last what I feel like is the worst of them, and 3D to me is one of the worst sequels out there that I've seen. Not because of the timeline thing that did bother me, but
we had long discussions about that.
Watching it kind of on its own, which is what I did recently, because after watching 2022 and being pleasantly surprised, and I was like, let me go watch 2013 again. I haven't seen it since it came out, so it's been 10 years. So let me see if it's gotten any better, and it didn't at all. If anything, it was worse than I remembered it. Which is saying a lot because I remembered it being really bad. My biggest issue with this movie is every interaction in this movie doesn't feel realistic. Every character behaves like no person would. When a prime example is when the girl is in town, she meets the mayor, who's a pretty nice guy to her, and he offers to buy the house from her, and she immediately gets pissed at him. Like, how fucking dare you offer to buy this property I know nothing about, just inherited from someone I've never met. Like, she's already got a personal attachment to everything, and she's been in the house for 30 seconds. Like, and she tells him, "Oh, I'm a Sawyer." It doesn't say I don't know. I didn't know my family though. Nothing. She just tells him that
you just got a free house. Hell yeah, I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, but who the fuck that house could be a rat infested hellhole when you go into the basement?
Yeah, what's your offer?
Yeah, there's a million termites holding hands. Like, she doesn't fucking know.
Well, I'm gonna look first.
Thank you. That's where I am, Dan.
Yeah, but she doesn't even say that. She just immediately gets mad at him for even asking. Like, how dare you insult me with an offer to buy my house that I just fucking got? It doesn't make sense. There's a lot of those interactions where you're just like, people don't behave like this. People don't talk like this. Who's got the dog barking? Tell Bella to be quiet.
No,
that's you. Oh, so, and then when they pick up this hitchhiker and they're like, "Yeah, we just met you, but we're gonna leave you in this brand new big house with all this stuff inside. Yeah, we're just gonna take off. Is that cool, bro? See you later." Like, you know what I mean? And it's just
and
like,
it's not the
come on.
70s.
I'm not going to argue with the stupidity. I'm not.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no.
not at all. I mean, there's a lot of it, and it's like there's only so much disbelief you can have, and so much you can separate yourself from reality to accept what's going on. This movie just asks you to pretend like you've never existed as a human being and just go along for the ride. And I'm sorry, I just can't do it. And you know, welcome to Texas, motherfucker. Do your thing, cuz fucking the girl's outside fucking her best friend's boyfriend in the barn of the house she just inherited. I'm like, what is happening in this movie? Like,
You know, you're making me want to watch it again. I'm just telling you that.
We've all known some girls like that. In fairness, they exist.
Yeah, but like like you are nowhere near home, and someone in her like presumably her vehicle fucking her boyfriend on her property. How are you gonna get home when she
Boys
finds
don't think
out?
like that.
But the boyfriend should be thinking like that. Shit, like
You
Some
know why he's
people
not?
there.
He's about to get some ass.
no. That movie was exceptionally stupid. I'm sorry. Like there was just a lot of like, no. But it's a little bit above the last one because through and through it is a Texas Chainsaw movie at its core. It does have some interesting ideas that it never really does anything with. And I did like some of the gore, but the CG, even in 3D, Todd, I'm sorry, is awful. I mean, when that guy goes down into the grinder and the CG, like translucent blood comes out of him, I'm like,
Which cut are you talking about?
unrated.
Okay. It actually works
Awful.
better as the cut version. I watch both.
Sure, it does, Todd.
No. Well, I'll talk about that.
Yeah,
later.
because you see less and it doesn't look as shitty. That's why
exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
There you go.
that doesn't make it a better movie.
No, I said it looks better. It's less obvious, is what I mean.
What are we at? Number 8?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so my number 8 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I used to really not like this movie. Now on this rewatch, I don't hate it. It just, there's certain things about it. I'm not like really crazy about the main characters we follow or the new family. And I'm also a little, I don't know, Leatherface's look in certain shots, I do like how his mask looks. And then in some other ones, he just kind of looks weird to me. And I think the biggest thing is, you know, the gore and the kills. There's virtually nothing really memorable in that department for me. That's probably the only reason why Texas Chainsaw 3D is just a little bit above it for me. But overall, you know, it's not a bad movie. I do get why people like it, but just for me, it's towards the bottom.
I didn't bring it up earlier. It also had a killer soundtrack.
Oh yeah, there's a track called Leatherface on it. I think that plays during the credits. It
has like the metal monster mash. It's everything on
Yeah.
there. I'm not a big metal guy, but I love Leatherface, so I love that album.
All right.
All right. We're at 8.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That would be the remake.
Wow.
2003.
Really well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's when I wasn't like it when I first saw it. I know Chris is leaving because I'm going to talk about it. Yeah, I didn't. The remake, I wasn't a fan of it. Well, actually, the first time I watched it, I was okay with it, and then like it always bothered me with Jessica Biel. She does not look the era. If they would have just set it modern and they're just in the middle of Texas,
I do.
They didn't. Yeah, they didn't need to set it when it was. But yeah, and that was my other thing.
Skinner.
They could still go see fucking Leonard Skinner.
The rest and the rest.
Yeah, that was always my big thing. It bothered me less now. I'm okay. It is. It's a product of its time now. Looking at it, it's like, okay, 2003, 20 years ago almost. So it's grown on me. I mean, Arlie Emery was the only reason I'd ever watched these movies previously because he kills it.
Oh,
So-
Arlie Ermy is the man.
He's
He's the star.
Yeah.
in this movie, outside this movie. That he just fucking rules.
When you outshine Leatherface, that's a problem.
Fair
I
enough.
don't think so. I'm okay with that.
I'm with you, Todd. I'm with you. That was the whole reason why the beginning is lower on my list, because like this is a Sheriff Hoyt movie. I want to spend all my time with that motherfucker because he's funny and he's mean and he gives zero fucks about how hard he hurts you or hits you. It's
Dude,
great.
that whole
Even
speech,
it out.
that whole speech he gives around the dinner table right before they're about to eat their first person, that shit still gives me chills. So fucking good.
That's like the Independence Day presidential speech. I'm with you there.
Yeah, right.
It rules.
He's a mean but occasionally funny bastard.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, if you're gonna kill me, just give me a joke first. That's cool. Fuck me up.
All right, last one, Dan.
all right, the worst. My number 9 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. So my thing with this movie, the one thing I will say it has over 2022 is memorable characters. I do remember them. I just don't necessarily like them. I think Leatherface is annoying in Next Generation.
That's the biggest problem is Leatherface.
Do not like him at all. He's just a weirdo with nothing that makes Leatherface Leatherface.
Here's the thing, and I just want to throw this out here because we haven't talked about it at all, and it plays into what you're saying.
Yeah, he's never intimidating to me.
The thing with Leatherface is he takes the persona of whatever mask he's on. That military outfit he's wearing, I don't know his personality. Like when he wears the woman mask, you get it. It's a weird to have.
Well, he's inhabiting constantly annoying people. Then
No.
Well,
movie, I don't.
He's gonna have a big hat in the next movie.
I know a lot of people. I get the camp value that this movie has. I think it does have a lot of camp value. Just not for me. I find the movie obnoxious to watch. I don't. McConaughey dropping a mechanical leg. Okay, haha. It's not that funny for me. But like I said, I know people that put this very high. I don't get it with this one. It's not fun. It doesn't do anything.
So fun. You're nuts. Well. It's not fun.
No, it's not. It's a chore every time I watched it. It's never grown at all. It really is.
The Illuminati angle, man. Come on.
That's that.
I don't know if they could make that work. Maybe they could. I think it's
Let's find out.
They don't in this. They don't in this movie. Let's get Alex Jones in a Texas Chainsaw.
Dude, you would pop so hard. I would too, actually.
Dude, you have him on InfoWars, and then Leatherface just comes up right behind him with the fucking chainsaw and cuts through him.
The frogs.
I keep thinking like, okay, this will be the time. It just never is for me with this movie.
I'm shocked it's under Leatherface. Speaking of which, I think the four of us have the same bottom, number 9. Do we not?
Yeah, we might have to, I guess.
We do.
Yeah.
We all have Leatherface. So
Leatherface. But
Leatherface, let's talk about it.
So my thing is though, like I don't outright hate this movie. Actually, I think it's a decent movie. It's just not a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. And they tried to be smart and just call it Leatherface. That doesn't work either. Okay, that switcheroo. Unnecessary, and Dan, I know you like that part, but I thought it was
Vince Russo
dumb.
booking
Unnecessary, unfucking necessary. Just make it be Hodor. Like what? What are you? Why? And then like
that was such a dumb plot point.
Dude, yeah, it makes me so mad because like when I'm watching the movie, I'm starting to get into I forget what the hell the bigger kid's name is, but I was starting to get into it. I was like, okay, I could see him as Leatherface, and then they just like, oh, ha, got you, fuck you, dude. Like, I absolutely cannot stand that fucking movie. It's my biggest thing is as a Leatherface origin story, which is what it was supposed to be. It fucking sucks. Maybe on its own, it could be something really cool, but taking one of my most beloved characters and kicking me in the balls repeatedly on screen with what they gave me, I can't stand it. It's one of my least favorite sequels or prequels out of any of the big four. I think it's probably on the bottom of the list out of everything if you're going to stack them all together.
Yeah, and the other thing that it does that's frustrating too is Leatherface in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is kind of born. You kind of get the sense that he was born with a deformity, not that he was turned into Leatherface, that he was, born into a poor backwoods family and was kind of simple, didn't, maybe, had something wrong with him mentally and physically. So he started wearing the faces of people to hide what had happened, who he was.
Yeah.
And like Todd said, kind of putting on the persona of every mask that he wore. This movie taking the character who's a relatively normal person, but then becomes crazy and kind of simple because he gets like shot in the face or something. I'm like, what? And then 95% of this is a low budget Quentin Tarantino ripoff. and then like, oh shit, this is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel.
You know
Let's
what?
throw that shit in there.
You know what? It's also a ripoff. It's fucking Devil's Rejects.
Yeah,
It is.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And fucking Steven Dorff is playing fucking Sheriff Wydell the whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, we watched this with some friends, and there were scenes in the movie I forgot were in this movie because there's so many different set pieces throughout the entire film that they're all clumped together that it feels like it was like an anthology with they had like 3 unfinished scripts. This where they just took scenes from each one and plopped them into the movie and strung them together. And it was forgettable. And you got Lily Taylor and you bookend her? Fuck you.
Right?
Shit. You got one of the best actresses in the fucking industry in your goddamn low budget piece of shit movie, and you're gonna give her 5 minutes of screen time?
The other big
suck
issue,
my left nut.
And it's funny because I will say for 2022,
I don't want to hear from you. This one was higher on your list, goddamn. We're talking
no, it wasn't higher than 2022.
It was higher on your list than it is for us.
It wasn't number 9.
Yeah, but Bulgaria, like I didn't feel Bulgaria in 2022. In fact, I thought they had shot elsewhere, but Bulgaria, you feel that in Leatherface, and that's a big issue.
It's very European, yeah.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna say it. They haven't made a great film since Inside. I get excited by them every time their names are brought up for a film, and then I'm disappointed sorely.
Yeah,
what was it?
Deep House was the last one we watched. They did
before that.
You know who I'd like to see You know who I'd like to see. There's 2 people actually. Technically, one already did tackle a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of ripoff, but I'd love to see Alexandra Aja tackle a Texas Chainsaw movie.
Oh, fuck yeah!
In Aja, we trust. That dude does no wrong by me.
and Rob Zombie kind of did it with House of 1,000 Corpses, but to really give him the property and say, "Here, this is yours now. Do what you will." I think he would deliver a solid.
Yeah, he would kill it.
I co-signed the fuck out of that.
Well, no one's gonna argue with that here.
Yeah. Fucking love Aja. But again, for the Leatherface movie, if it just wasn't called Leatherface and they made a few better decisions, it would be a good movie on its own because it's not bad. But like in the fucking franchise, this is bottom of the barrel for me. Even above over 3D or under 3D.
Yeah, it's under 3D for me too.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot, kind of the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre with like a graphic sex scene too, which was
crispy. Fuck yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. The necromantic moment.
Before we get into the next, the next thing, I do want to throw out because we got beat to the punch by Bloody Disgusting, but me and Kruger have been talking about the hidden face in the movie, and I know I talked to Chris about it too. So in the bus scene, you can see not his mother, but his caretaker, the lady who runs the orphanage. I pulled a screenshot from the scenes before, so it's in the scene in the bus immediately after the blood comes into the bathroom door. So in this scene, you get some flashes, and in the flashes, you get that.
Awesome. Oh, nice.
So you could see her face, and it's like one frame, and it's there. So it makes it really cool. See the next frame gone. It's like when the lightning strikes or whatever the light is, real quick, it's there.
Well,
and then it's gone.
It's probably his reflection that he's seeing since he's taken on her fucking traits and shit.
That is interesting that he's looking over at when that shot. It looks like he's facing the window.
Yeah. So you're going to the source material with that, the Ed Gein stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that.
Yeah. Which once again brings me to my point about that one, that people are dismissing it the way they have been, saying that there was no thought put into this. It's like, no, there definitely
when he's
was.
Putting on the makeup, I mean, that's straight up Ed Gein.
When he dressed, dude,
that scene is sad. He misses the fucking woman who took care of him, and like
kept him from cheating. As far as I know,
this whole time, like you meet this woman, you meet Alex Creek's character, and you're thinking, oh, she's gonna be crazy, batshit crazy. She's gonna be the one that like kickstarts the whole thing, and she's a sweet old woman. That's all she is. It's that simple. And they wrongfully accidentally kill her.
I would have liked to seen him in the orphanage, like just some flashbacks. Like, how do you like get like Leatherface?
And also,
when you're not surrounded by maniacs, maybe you end up okay.
The other thing too that I liked about this one, and Todd and I talked about this, it can exist with the other sequels still also existing.
Yeah.
Those movies
Yeah.
can still happen.
Save that for the end
Future of the
show.
franchise.
I have an idea.
So there you go.
All right. Well, let's go in. Well, next, this will be interesting, or it may not be.
Hold on. We should all give our ranks again.
Oh, you want to read them real quick? Okay.
Yeah.
Dan, go ahead and read yours real quick.
All right. Number one.
Hold up. Put that ranking sign back up so people know.
Stop trying to produce me, Pugs. Goddamn.
I'm trying to make the show cool.
I would have been annoyed. It was
all right. In order for me,
recap.
Recap. The original 1974 in the top spot, followed by Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Beginning, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw 3, then followed by Texas Chainsaw 3D, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, Leatherface, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Next Generation for me.
Right on. My ranking is number 1, Texas Chainsaw 1974, the OG. Number 2 is the new one, 2022. Although I wish they would change the fucking name. Anyway, number 3, another Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but from 2003. Number 4, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. 5 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Beginning. Number 6 is Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Number 7, Next Generation. 8, 3D, and 9, Leatherface. Mr. Chris.
Mine is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and then my number 2 would be the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then number 3 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, or Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and then we've got number 4 at the 2022 sequel, and then number 5 is Next Generation, number 6 is The Beginning, number 7 is the remake, number 8 is 3D, and number 9 is also Leatherface from 2017. Pile of shit, I tell you.
All right. So my number 1 is the original. My number 2 is Texas Chainsaw 2. My number 3 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. My number 4 is New Beginning. My number 5 is the 2003 remake. My number 6 is Next Generation. 7 is Texas Chainsaw 3D, 8 is Texas Chainsaw 3, and 9 is the pile of shit that is Leatherface 2017.
All right. Mine is the original. Hopefully I didn't change it since then because I already want to change stuff, but I won't change it. The original 74 is my first. My second is the second film. My third is Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Followed by TCM 2022, Next Generation, Texas Chainsaw 3D, The Beginning, the remake, and the pile of shit that is 2017 Leatherface. There we go.
There we go. Rankings. So awesome.
All right, I guess we'll go right to our favorite kill. Dan, what's your favorite kill?
My favorite kill is Pam Terry McMinn being hung on the meat hook in the original. No gore, but man, iconic. And you felt it, just the way she sold the pain. Yeah, that is my favorite kill.
Nice. I actually had a really hard time picking them. No Texas Chainsaw Massacre kills actually stand out to me, and I was shocked to find this out. Until 2022 happened, and that fucking curly head fuck gets her head lopped off right at the end. Praise Jesus. That shit rules. And then you get the dance.
Lady Franklin.
Dude, yeah, when he's fucking doing the chainsaw dance and he's got her, head by her hair fucking with it, that's so badass.
Yes.
So
I would say
it would have been last place if they had ended before that.
Oh my god, yeah. I think that's
me.
like pretty universal. I would have dropped quite a few spots if we didn't get that.
The Leatherface still would be at the bottom for me.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it'd be at the end, but it wouldn't be where it's at. It'd be down
if that bitch killed Leatherface, that wouldn't. Oh.
But that's not the point of the movie.
I didn't mention one of the coolest scenes is in 3D when he sews the mask to his face. That's hard. So
I love that.
My bad.
All right, favorite kill.
This was the only one This was the only one I was having some trouble with.
Right.
I wanted to pick my usual favorite kill I always said it before, was incoming mail from part 2. Until I found out the actor in real life was killed very much the same way. And now, in good conscience, I can't pick that as my favorite kill because it became reality for him. So I think the one that got me actually cheering, was "Do Anything and You're Canceled, Bro," and he just revs up that saw, and it's just over. And I'm just like, this just paid for my Netflix subscription for the year because I'm sold on this. But you know what's funny was when people saw that in the trailer, like, oh, this is going to be so stupid, and it's like the highlight of the movie for so many people.
I could tell then. Yeah,
I was calling it since the trailer that he was going to fuck with them all up. And to be honest, that scene gave me what I wanted in Halloween Kills, because there was a sequence that I was hoping like Michael Myers was going to end up at the back of the mob and just start hacking his way through everybody. And that's kind of what we got with Leatherface killing everybody in the bus, except they couldn't escape. So even better.
Well, this was also the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie that sort of put the idea that Tobe Hooper had, where he came up with for the idea of the original, where he was in a crowded store and he was by the chainsaws, and he thought, if I took all these, I took one of these, I could cut through all these people and get out of the stores around Christmas time. This was the only movie that's ever done anything close to that. So,
and I know we had this conversation before, but I also argue this is the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre that really has an actual massacre.
I said that the other day.
So,
my favorite kill, surprisingly, isn't really that bloody or gory, but it's super effective, and I've always it always sticks out to me when people say what's some of your favorite kills in any horror film, and that's a Sledgehammer Kill in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just the way he's seizing up after he gets hit in the head, and then Leatherface whacks him one more. I love that fucking scene. I always think, like, even though there's not a lot of blood, it's not like the hammer kill we got in Texas Chainsaw 2022, where we're seeing him fucking get his head smashed like a pancake. But it was still really effective and just always stuck out to me as one of the best kills in any slasher film. So yeah,
and he slams the door. That's perfect.
I had the issue with this one because that the fucking one from 2013, the dick fuck kill almost beat this. But this is like the moment that like defined my love of the genre. The moment that door shuts in that scene, Kruger, I was in love.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I can't not pick that one too.
One door shuts, the other one opens. Todd, welcome to horror.
but honorable mention to Leatherface he sticks his chainsaw through a guy's ass out his dick and then fucks a girl with the chainsaw in the bus scene. That is definitely my number 2 favorite kill out of any Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
All right. Well, that one was quick. What do we got next?
Favorite Leatherface mask.
All right. I don't know how this one's going to go.
Yeah, this is hard for me.
Well, for me, this one was easy. It's the original Gunnar Hansen's mask.
Wait. There's 2 original masks, Dan. You got to tell us.
There's 3, actually.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Well, are we counting it?
Ooh, look at somebody schooling hot on Texas Chainsaw.
Do we count both together, being that it's the one character? Or
no, because the next
you have to count
one is.
what's your favorite.
That's why it's favorite mask.
Yeah, it's a mask.
Yeah,
Not
the
a favorite
first
character.
The first image of him. That's the most.
So okay, not Pretty Lady, just the standard. Okay.
Yeah, I guess if I had to pick there, I mean that made it. I am an.
It's called favorite mask, Dad. What did you think?
Well, I figured the leather. Yeah, but yeah, that's that's what made it. I can't pick any of the others over that, and I hated 2022's mask. I love it.
Yeah, but
if it was just a random slasher, all right, it'd be fine. Not special, but fine. But no, it just didn't work.
What it symbolizes, that's what gets it for me. I think just the symbolization. And the one cool thing about the mask, too, is the mask originally was supposed to be with her dress on, too. The character designer said in an interview, but they scrapped him wearing her red dress as well. So I think it would have maybe even looked cooler if he had the dress on. But I think some people may have had an issue.
Maybe for the next one. For me, my favorite mask is from '74, the original, but it's actually what is it called?
A Pretty Lady.
Pretty Lady, but with the suit.
Babe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like the very end, you know, when he cuts his leg.
Not when he has the apron on.
Not the apron one.
Okay.
But we can get back to that later. But that's my favorite mask of Leatherface's. Chris?
They fucked this up because that's supposed to be the Pretty Lady mask there, but
Yeah.
that's not it. Mine is actually from part 2. I like his mask in part 2 because he has. I like how they put different skin textures in different parts of the mask. Like part of it has a little bit of a beard. Part of it, the skin is blackened. Part of it, the skin is very white. So it really does seem like he's sewing this mask together out of different people and just kind of patching it up as he goes along. So it's always sort of the same mask, just fixed. So I love the look of that one. I think it looks great.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he does have like somebody's like eye sockets and stuff.
It's there. It's an eye socket, and I think there's an ear in there.
Yeah, there's an ear, and I know he might get canceled now because he has a black patch in there too.
Oh god,
he's a mixed race. Like again, most fluid, most fucking progressive killer ever.
Somebody already tried canceling him once, Todd, and look what happened. So,
fair enough.
Well, there is that transphobia issue people have with it, but they say the same for Psycho.
Fair enough.
Not all transvestites kill.
Yes, this is true.
My favorite mask. This is really hard because I do love the original standard Leatherface mask in the original movie because that's kind of where a lot of like the marketing with products, that you could buy and stuff. They always use that likeness.
No, they don't. It's 50-50. You either have that or the remake.
Well, that's true too. But I think there's more. You can buy more original Leatherface. Just with tops and stuff, but
since New Line lost the license, we're back to original. But when New Line had that license, that's all we had, and I hated that era. Sorry.
But I think my favorite has to be the Pretty Lady mask. I think just the way it looks and the iconic shot with him at the end. Also, just playing into the Ed Gein thing with the makeup on the face too. Like I think that's really is what Leatherface is all about. So Pretty Lady from the 74 film. And I do not like the Pretty Lady fucking mask in 3D. That shit looks off as fuck.
Well, it's not supposed to be the same mask though too.
No, it is. It has the same exact makeup.
Well, no, he put the makeup on. I don't think it's the same face from like 40 years ago. At that point it'd be like
No, I'm talking at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, the beginning. Yeah, that one doesn't look good. It's too bright and vibrant.
Yeah.
And honestly, you're giving a lot of credit to that movie, putting that kind of thought and consideration into the mask being deteriorated after 40 years. Because it's not even fucking 40 years later in that movie. It's whenever the fuck they feel like making it.
That's obviously a note that happened at some point. Because some parts it feels time appropriate, other parts it does not. It's really uneven with that, and you can even see it. I know we talked about this way back when it came out. There's digital grass over the year on that tombstone when she goes to the tombstone.
Oh yeah, and when they show the newspaper clip, the date,
they do the same thing.
It's like it's entirely skewed to the left, and it's like nobody would photograph, like no cinematographer would frame a newspaper like that.
Yeah, it says like August 19th and then cuts.
Yeah,
because it's the day after. So,
dumb shit. Dumb shit.
All right. I think I'm going to surprise people with this one.
See, the remake. Fuck out of here, Todd.
No, that's actually pretty low on my list. If I did them all. My favorite is the same as Chris. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I love the piece together. The funny thing about that is it kind of goes against the whole taking the persona on because it's multiple pieces. So we don't really have that like as we do in the first, but it doesn't bother me because the mask is beautiful.
He's wearing multiple hats in the second one. I mean, he's the cook, he's the butcher, he's the housewife.
And damn it, I didn't grab.
He's the lover.
Yeah, I didn't grab the laser disc for the Criterion or one or the Elite one. Yeah, no, I meant for the original. I know you have the other one too. Do you have the Leatherface one?
No, that's one I haven't been able to get a hold of. It's too fucking expensive.
How much does that run now?
Well, I'll say mine for 200.
Ooh,
No, I won't.
gangster.
I got this one too. That's the other one.
Okay, so you're just missing the other elite one then, right? That's the Pioneer.
Yeah, I'm missing the well, I wasn't trying to get them all. The one I really wanted was the
I know
the Vestron one.
Yeah.
Which, no shit, this actually looks really good. I was expecting like a beat up, nasty print. It's fucking one of the cleanest copies on video I've ever seen of the goddamn movie. I'm like, this sucks. I wanted a nasty, grimy looking version of the movie, and I got one that looks pretty fucking clean.
That's funny.
Anyway.
All right. Okay, yeah, that's all. I was like, who else do we have? Okay. This one will be interesting. I think this one is going to be a quick one. Favorite overall Leatherface, mask, look, whatever. Not necessarily from your favorite film, just favorite overall look.
Yeah. Easy for me. Gunnar Hansen. I don't need to geek out on that anymore. That's what made it iconic. That's the best.
I am also Gunnar Hansen, the Butcher. Like that's when I do think of Leatherface, I think of when he slams the door and that's what he's wearing. I'm like, that's Leatherface.
I want to paint my closet red now.
You should.
That means you got to take everything out.
Yeah, never mind. I don't.
I'm going to surprise everybody. Mine is the 2003. No, I'm kidding. It's Gunnar Hansen, no question.
You stole my bit. I was going to do that.
The beginning, actually.
Yeah, you could have read with that one.
My favorite overall Leatherface is absolutely Gunnar Hansen, the first movie.
Yeah, I'm the same. I thought about making this question except Gunnar Hansen, but I did not. So Gunnar Hansen across the board.
Yeah, he's.
Did you guys read his book, the Chainsaw Confidential book?
I have not, and I don't have the book, but I actually just got the audiobook that he reads. So I'm looking forward to listening to that on my next drive.
You know that Cassandra Peterson's book.
I listened to it.
She reads that, and it's like you're listening to her tell you this. You are listening to her telling the stories, but it's like you're having a conversation with her. It's fucking amazing. So I read the Chainsaw Confidential book. It's a fantastic book. Now that I know he read the audiobook, I'll grab the audiobook because I'd love to hear him tell the stories, you know.
And that's why I got the Elvira because of you. And then after that, I'm like, okay, well, and then I got the Bruce Campbell ones I didn't have. So, and I'd already read them. So it was cool. I've heard the second one on audiobook before, which is basically a giant radio play. But yeah.
Todd, did you go to the book signing that Gunnar Hansen had at Dark Delicacies?
I did not. But, I did mention this earlier. He's actually my first autograph.
Oh. Yeah.
At Fangoria of Weekend of Horrors, 1987 or 88. What year did Phantasm 2 drop? 88. So it was. It was either late. It was right then because those were my second autographs. But yeah.
I had a friend who was really good friends with Gunnar because Gunnar lived up in, I think, New Hampshire or Maine, one of the northern states he had moved to in his later years, and my friend had befriended him, and he very stupidly, and I told him this to his face when he told me he didn't take this. Gunnar Hansen it was either one of the masks or his costume from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, still like the suit, and he offered it to my friend, and my friend said he didn't want to take it. He didn't feel right taking it from him. He goes, "This is yours. I don't want to take this from you." And
I get that, but I still would have said absolutely.
And when so Gunnar told him, "I want you to have this. So when I die, it's yours. If that's how you want to do it." Because he was older. Yeah. He kind of had a notion he would pass, but he never told his wife. So his wife was like, "No, this is staying in the family." Like he never said anything to me about it, and I'm sorry, but I can't give it to you.
At that point, it needs to be in a museum.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know what she ended up doing with it. I wish I could remember if it was the mask or the costume, but it was something from the movie that he had that he wanted him to have, and he just didn't feel right taking it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I get it in a way, in the sense, like you said, it does belong in a museum. Because what if something happens to it? Because it's always possible that, maybe a flood, fire, whatever. It should be preserved. All right. So I get it. I do get it.
All right. See, I think these are going to be too many sweeps. Favorite overall Leatherface.
Oh, we already did that.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we did mask.
No, we did that too.
We did,
Jesus.
yeah.
Okay, you're right. We're on favorite chainsaw. My bad.
Favorite chainsaw.
Favorite fucking chainsaw. How specific are we gonna get here? Do you want to do favorite shoelaces too?
Well, it's the OG. I don't know. I bet everybody's gonna say the chrome one, but I'm
absolutely
simple.
I'm the gold. Never even used. It's pristine. I vote gold. It's pretty cool.
Chris.
I have no fucking idea, guys. They're chainsaws, man. Probably it's the only one that fucking stands out is the one from part 3. Like, yeah, that one, sure.
I'm gonna go with the one from 2022 because in some scenes it actually is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre one from the original film. So yeah, and just in that movie he uses it the most brutally.
The Saws family, I'm 3. I mean, I made my gold one for whenever I did it. I still want, there is like one that is like beautiful that you can buy that is the custom made. God damn it, I wish I had a couple grand to drop on it, but I'm not. But yeah.
Speaking of props, did you guys watch the return, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation special features where they talked about the chair?
I did not have time.
So they had somebody from the original film had one of the chairs made out of the bones still around, and they let it go to this production. They said, you guys can use it for the movie because it's supposed to be, reboot, remake, whatever. And there was a person in charge of the chair. This person was hired on a film specifically to make sure nothing happened to this chair. That it was going to be, no one was going to sit on it. It wasn't going to break. No one was going to breathe on it.
I hope this story ends happily.
It does. The chair made it out fine. But can you imagine somebody hiring for the role of, you're going to be the person who watches this chair? You can't sit in it, but you have to watch this chair. We'll give you another chair to sit in, but you have to watch this one. I can't even picture that being like a real role, but it was his credit, like chair watcher. Like, I don't get, like, it was
prop supervisor.
Yeah, well, that was the only prop you watched, but no, the chair made it out fine. I think you see it briefly in the movie, but I don't think that like they didn't focus on it. I think they were too scared to. I think they were worried like somebody could break it. So
yeah, I totally get them putting like eagle eyes on it because it's from the original. Like, and if you care about it at all, you're gonna want to take care of it. So I respect that. I would happily do it. The fuck away from the chair.
No.
So the next,
Hold on, I'm bringing up the gimmick.
Okay,
I lost it. Well, the next one's going to be interesting. Because I thought there's going to be more of a fight, but we'll bring it up anyway. All right, favorite family, since we're missing the hat, Pugs.
I am a Sawyer through and through, Mr. Chris.
Part 2, Chop Top. Come on.
So Sawyer.
Sawyer. Yeah, Sawyer.
Yeah, I'm a Sawyer too, but the Hewitt family is very, very fucking close because of, the sheriff.
Yeah. And I'm also Sawyer. Dan, Sawyer, Hewitt.
Unmute yourself, sir. Dan.
I mean,
favorite family.
You do have the Slaughter too.
Help if I unmute it. I'm sorry.
It does.
Sawyer over Hewitt.
Yeah. I thought that might be a little bit more. Like, I thought Chris and Kruger were going to be a little bit, but Kruger, you said it was close second. But
yeah, it's close.
All right, here we go. Favorite final girl.
All right, now here's where I will change it up a little bit. It won't be a sweep. My favorite final girl is Stretch, Caroline Williams. I love her. I know there's been a lot of Daddario love tonight, but I do love Carolyn Williams.
Dude, the final shot with her, on that like monument thing with the chainsaw
tower,
doing the dance. Oh my fucking God, awesome.
That shit's cool. I'm gonna be boring. I'm gonna pick Marilyn Burns. Sally.
I get that.
Rules. Chris?
Yeah. I mean, it was Stretch. It's my favorite sequel, my favorite Leatherface look. So, yeah.
Mine is Sally too, just because I think her acting in that movie, the amount of terror we get on that girl's face in some scenes, like I don't think there's any final girl that beats her.
Well, some of it wasn't acting.
Well, you know what though, A+. Fucking that's why she's one of the best.
If I worked on that film, because I hate the heat, and if they had told me that this guy who played Grandpa wasn't going to get in the makeup again, so we had to spend the next 16 hours filming all of his stuff, I would have taken him up back and shot him. I'd be like, sorry, don't know what happened to him. He fell on a gun and went off 3 or 4 times. We need to find a new person to play Grandpa.
Alec Baldwin.
I was going to say Rust.
No way.
All right. Well, I did say favorite final girl, not best final girl. Pugs, who did I pick?
Daddario.
Heather Miller from 3D. Alexandria Daddario.
Picking with this boner.
I said favorite, not best. And honestly, I do not like I do like Stretch, but the other final girls I don't like.
Even
Stretch,
Sally?
Like Sally?
No, I'm so happy he finally got that bitch.
But does Heather really count as a final girl because she's part of the family?
Well, he was.
I would say yeah, up until
her.
the end.
Yeah, but he's not at the end. She saves him and he saves her. It's like
she's still the final girl because she was in turmoil with the two other fucking assholes.
But they're on the same team by the end of the movie, so I wouldn't really count her as a final
but she's
girl.
the final girl of the movie.
She's really not though, because she becomes one of the members of the family. Like
I'm good with it. Todd, pick somebody else.
The last one that lives.
Well, I already said my second would have been Stretch, but my answer is Heather Miller.
Yeah, it's stupid.
You don't have to agree with it. That's why it's your favorite, not the best. That's my favorite.
Well, Sally's still my favorite.
Yeah. Well, here's an easy one. I think favorite sibling.
Do y'all want to count down from 5 and just say it all together?
No, I do not.
It might not be. It might not be, but Chop Top.
I'm going with Sheriff Hoyt. It's really close, but like he's just meaner and like just more sarcastic than Chop Top. So Sheriff Hoyt for me.
Chop Top, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely Chop Top, but Grandpa's a close second.
Fuck yeah.
That motherfucker terrified me as a little kid. It's stupid too because you look back. I mean, even the mask really doesn't even look that good. But being 3 or 4 years old, seeing that shit, and him sucking on the finger and trying to smash her head in the hammer and keep missing, like
Todd, can I get
it? Go ahead,
Drayden. The cook.
Really? It's
Okay.
not Drayden. I figure you just figure it out and be like, do your thing, cuz.
Oh my god!
No, that's not my pick. I just had to fuck with y'all.
I know where you live.
Between hey, she got my favorite final girl. She's not my favorite.
Yeah, I still know where you live.
But yeah. Between those two, it's hard. But I love Fuck You Charlie's. God damn. And Hard Shelled Pepper. Oh yeah, we're going with Drake.
Cool.
Even though I don't know. You can ask me again in 5 minutes and I'll say Chop Top, but yeah.
I don't really like I think this anyway. There's no really wrong answer unless you pick something from fucking Leatherface. I like that Lily Taylor though. Fuck. You know what?
Lily Taylor's in the movie for 5 fucking minutes. She doesn't count.
But she steals the show.
She doesn't count.
It's the only good thing about that fucking movie.
All right. What do we want to see out of the future of the franchise?
Okay, so are we going to go clockwise or?
Dan's like, I want it to stop.
No, I don't think so. Well, go ahead, Gruger.
Yeah, I just wanted to pick up on something I was talking about earlier. You and Todd and Chris were both saying how the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie necessarily doesn't need to not talk about any of the other sequels moving forward. And I think bringing Chop Top back and just being like, oh no, it's a sequel to 2. I mean, why the fuck not?
Hey, I'll watch the shit. I'll watch
And
the Chop Top solo.
I have a question then. Do you bring back Bill Moseley for Chop Top?
Yes, absolutely.
he's still
You don't
here.
do it.
Who
You don't
else?
do.
Well-
yeah, you don't do it unless you can.
He'd
If
be
you
a
can't,
little
don't touch the character.
old if you're going back to Vietnam, and that could be a little challenging. Well, it'd be a
How
lot.
are you-
older.
Not necessarily a
You're not-
prequel, just put
who
him in
said-
the next
They
movie.
have de-aging things too.
And not even
Like,
that. He said.
Nah,
He
I
said.
don't want that.
No,
He-
I'm talking
he's-
about. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on, Kruger. I'm going to help you out here. He said a sequel, Dan, not a prequel.
Okay, I thought you were. Yeah, I know a lot of people talked about.
I got you, Kruger.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm talking about picking up from the post-credit scene that we get in 2022. He's going back to the house. Maybe just have Chop. I mean, you don't
Leave at
even
the
need to
door.
say that we count 2 as canon. Just bring back the Chop Top character.
But he's
Sure.
going back to Sally's house, not his house.
Well,
Oh,
do
I
you
thought that was his.
do
No, that's
you
Sally's house?
use him
I-
exactly as the same character he was
That-
in 2, or do a more serious version of Chop Top though?
I did
think-
the exact same.
Yeah,
Exactly.
either do the exact same and just go with a different theme with this movie, to where it would warrant that, or I think there's ways you could play it, kind of 50-50, where you can have him still have his one-liners and be funny every now and again, but then just have him be so just basically fucking incoming mail again, but with way more blood and gore, and we'll take him seriously.
Brian Trash, no more movies. I would think it'd be cool, like instead of going to a radio station, he ends up going to like his favorite TV show or his favorite podcasting area. That'd be fun.
Podcasting area.
Some people rent a studio for that shit.
Chop Top kills Joe Rogan, cameo of the century.
He is in Texas.
God damn it.
Todd,
Yeah.
Todd, I'm looking at that house. There's a swing in front of it. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the original house.
Yeah,
See,
that's what I
That's
thought.
how I took it.
That's why we
Well,
wanted to
yeah,
be
that's
called
how
The Return to
everybody
Texas.
is. And then-
Chainsaw.
I took it as he was going home. He was finally.
I
going
did too,
home.
but then when I rewatched it, looked at Sally's house, it looks like it's the same house. Anyone in the comments,
Yeah,
please chime in on that too.
Well, in fairness, they probably used. Her house probably looks similar in some ways. Maybe she was living at that house. Maybe she moved there thinking someday he would come back.
I guess it's time for. What are you up to, Kruger? 6, 7?
I'm up to 6.
Yeah, I'm only up to 4. So now we have a reason to do
I got
5 and
3.
8.
Fuck.
What are we talking about?
How many
How
times
many?
we've watched it?
Yeah. For a sequel, I would love to see another. I would love to see Chop Top come back. I'd love it if he walks into the house and Chop Top's like Kruger said, waiting for him. That's a really cool idea.
He's there listening to fucking Iron Butterfly.
Or he's there and Stretch is there waiting for him. Like, hey, where you been? Because
One thing-
she's batshit crazy by the end of part 2. So
That'd be
You-
cool.
She's old enough to be. Never mind. That was going to be rude, and I didn't even mean to make it rude. I was going to say the new mother figure.
One thing I would
Came out wrong.
One thing I would crack up about though is if Grandpa's still alive, just rocking it, just like way more sunken in, and but he's just moving a tiny bit.
We can
so you
hire
can tell he's
Veruza.
alive.
Perfect.
Oh, that's
She's
fucked
not
up.
doing much.
Of living.
Well, number one, I mean, in general, I can see just franchises dying in general because I think horror fans are not great about championing original material like they should. It's always like, oh, I wonder what the next Friday the 13th. So, but what I would like, because it will continue whether we like it or not, what I would just like is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre at this point that doesn't focus on Leatherface. Honestly, hey, do a Grandpa prequel and you could almost do whatever you wanted, hopefully staying somewhat in the tone of the original. That would be the way to go, I think, for me. And I'm not saying Leatherface can't be in it at some point, but focus on someone else.
I don't normally say Dan is wrong, but I'm going to say Dan is wrong for saying a Texas Chainsaw Massacre with no Leatherface.
Look,
Yeah, they
I'm
kinda-
gonna
they-
defend Dan just a little bit.
Hey, I'm not
That's
saying it's a
what
good
he
idea
wanted.
for box office. This is just what I would like to see.
Yeah, they kind of already did that. It was called Leatherface 2017. I think 4 of us picked it as the worst of the fucking franchise.
Yeah, but it's still Leatherface. It's still
Not
his
to the last 5 minutes of the
origin.
movie.
Yeah, but it's
you don't
still the focus is on him.
It's not.
But I mean,
it's-
No, it was
No,
on the
it's
fat
not.
kid.
It's on the fat kid. It's not on Leatherface.
It shifts in the last 50 minutes with a fucking twist, and it's
sure, but it's still Leatherface. It wasn't about another. But anyway,
yeah, but wasn't about another kid.
But I would take anybody else at this point. I don't think you can I don't think they'll ever recapture the magic of the first one. So tell me a fresh story. Grandpa would be really interesting.
Why don't you just ask for a Nightmare on Elm Street that doesn't involve Freddy Krueger? Just have it be like, I don't know, Nancy Thompson.
Freddy's Nightmares.
If I'm a studio, I will run it into the ground. But
Nancy's mom, like fucking, her
and her alcoholic addiction.
I want to see how she became an alcoholic. Chris, I apologize now. Chris,
it's just what I want.
Sheriff beats his wife.
The more it goes on, Leatherface doesn't mean as much, and I'd hate to see it get to that point. So, hey, there's a lot of interesting characters in the franchise. Chop Top would be great. I know the clock's ticking on that, but yeah, I don't know. Grandpa, give me a Grandpa prequel.
I can fuck with that.
Old man Chop Top's cool with me.
Well, let me ask you this. Here's the different question I didn't put down. Who would you want? Like, it can be continuing, whatever. What director would you like to see tackle the property? I know Rob Zombie.
Minus Aja.
I said Alexander Aja. I already answered that.
Yeah. We can get Fetty to do it since he was a good producer.
Yeah.
Well, I think he wrote it too. He wrote
the story.
Yeah, the original. Yeah. Well, I'd like to see what he does with Hellraiser first, but Bruckner. It's not the most obvious choice necessarily with his other movies, but I have some faith. We'll see. I might get revelations again.
I'm going to be weird on this one because I'm going to go first full circle. I would really like to see, I know it kind of came up earlier too. I would really like to see Rob Zombie make an actual Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Yeah,
I think
if he didn't write it, I'm down.
Yeah, I think needs a few less motherfuckers throughout it, but
no, I don't think that would bother it, honestly, because I think it would fit with the kind of nastiness of it all. Like it would work. I would like to see him tackle the property with permission because he kind of already did with House of 1,000 Corpses, but I'd like to see him really do it because I think what he did in House of 1,000 Corpses is sort of gave us the closest to the Sawyer family we got outside of that franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, even Tiny was kind of Leatherface.
Yeah.
So just minus the chainsaw, but he was a guy who wore people's faces. So yeah, I would love to see him tackle that. And like I said, Alexander Aja, I think would be a great fit just because the Hills Have Eyes remake.
He's always my go-to. Aja is the shit.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on this subject before we start bringing toys out?
Yeah, fuck the hat.
Get in the van, Franklin.
Fuck you.
Funny story about that. We used to always use that as like when we talk shit and someone was annoying us. We just say, "Get in the van, Franklin." Caesar heard that shit a lot, so it's coming back. He'll remember it.
You did it in front of me. I did laugh. I thought.
Has Caesar been on the show before? Has anyone ever?
Yeah, like three times.
Yeah, okay. We normally only bring him on for the anniversary shows.
So
wrestling
stuff. So the listeners here know who he is. So I have a funny Caesar story.
Go for it.
I think we can finally tell the story now. I think we're in the clear. So I moved out to California for a while, and I was living with Todd.
No. If it's the one I'm thinking, no, you can't tell that one.
The show one?
Yeah, no.
Why not?
Because it reflects bad. I'll tell you.
This is my show. This is my show that did this. It has nothing to do with Todd.
Well, yes, please.
I'll take responsibility for this. Okay. So we had just gotten. So getting a screener account was a pretty big deal for a podcast back in the day because a lot of Scream Factory wasn't cooperating with a lot of folks in getting the screener account. So we got a screener account through Scream Factory, and my concern was we didn't get a lot of live listeners on our show. Most of our listeners listened to it afterwards. So we were doing this live giveaway, and I was really worried that no one was going to call in for the giveaway. So I said to Todd, I said, "Do you know anybody we can get to call in just to, and we can get, they can win the stuff. We'll give them the answer to the question that we're going to ask, but let them know we're going to ask the question on air. Like, then we, whatever.
Payout's worth it. I'll go with that.
So, he says, "Oh, my buddy Caesar will do it." I said, "Cool, like whatever." So we're on the show. we're getting ready to do the giveaway. And I said, okay, we've got a caller. We haven't even asked the question yet. And he picks up the phone and he goes, yeah, it's Halloween. And I just froze. And I looked over at Todd and I was like, did we ask the question yet? And he's like, nope. And he's laughing hysterically. And I'm trying to like recover. And I'm like, well, that would be the right answer if we had already asked the question. Oh, you guys didn't ask the question yet? No, we didn't. What the fuck would he know? Tell me something he knows now.
We were in the same room during it. Yeah, because it was when you were here.
I was behind you on
no
the chair.
one would call. Yeah, that's the problem. When you had to actually call into Blog Talk, there were a few that would do it, but
they were normally cranks.
The only time we got a lot of call-ins was we did a 1-year anniversary show, and we had a shit ton of stuff to give away. We got a lot of call-ins on that show, but this was like we were something new for us.
Stephen Jeffries and Kelly
Beverly Randolph came on, but it was the funniest fucking thing, and I'm like, dude, like, stop telling your special needs friends to call in to the show because this was ridiculous. And then he had the nerve to ask if we were going to give him anything. I'm like, fuck no.
Now, this being said, Ben Grimm, I hope you're enjoying that one-of-a-kind Witchboard poster you got. And,
there you go, yeah.
And I still got a couple other packages to go out. So keep an eye out for.
Yeah, we're honest here now.
Hey, listen, we were doing what we could. I was doing what I could.
It was a backup plan. If no one called in, you were like, have someone ready.
Pretty much, yeah. And he was right. And no one was, because we didn't get a lot of live listeners.
No, it was like the last 5 minutes. You're like, do it. Yeah. Which we wouldn't do here. We just save and give it away later.
I fucking love that. He without even saying hi. Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that was the question.
Stab in the dark.
Actually, I think you know what's funny? I think the answer to the question was head cheese, ironically enough, because I'm fairly positive the question was, what was the original title for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Full circle. That makes sense why it's on the show. That was it.
Trivia. And I was like, yeah. And Halloween was the one we ended up giving to him for the second question, because that was the easiest one we could come up with on the fly that he should know. And I think he didn't even think he had trouble with that one too. And I was like, fuck it, it's yours. You have it. Have a nice night.
Trivia is always tough. You think the questions aren't that hard, but then you're like, shit, nobody can get the answer.
Well, if we were doing it here, Pitt would have won like 10 things. But
yeah.
All right, merchandise.
All right, Dan, I'm gonna full screen you first. Hopefully, we don't have too much overlap.
Sure. I tried to get everything as close as I could. I might have to get up for one or two of these, but
we can bullshit. Are you ready?
Yeah, no, I'm good to go. I
already showed what I have, so.
I thought, okay. All right. So I mentioned, I think Kruger maybe asked. I was at Fangoria Weekend of Horrors, and I got most of the main people from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. Jordana Brewster's on there. Arlie Ermey's on there. Diora Baird, the director's name always escapes me. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Kruger, not to break your heart, I thought I had a second one and I was going to surprise you, but I could not locate it because I thought I got two of these signed. But yeah, this is the beginning when I got to sit next to Arlie Ermey. Since we already talked shit about him.
Arlie Ermey? Bite your tongue.
No. I'm segueing. All the main Leatherface is on this one except the asshole.
So it's pristine. That's pretty cool.
All right, I'll try and. This is the problematic one because it's big. This is probably becoming one of the more prized possessions just because, people started to die off now. But I have almost everybody from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hard to get this in, but yeah, Marilyn, Tobe.
I like watching Dan try to do it though with his head.
I was the headphones on. There's just enough room, but
okay.
I was gonna say from. I was gonna say, is it wrong that I wanted him to fall over?
Oh no, not good. That has happened on the stream. Not with me, but
not drop the poster, but just hit the ground.
But yeah,
protect the poster at all costs.
You can kind of see most of the names on there. Gunner, of course, who I I miss Gunner so much. He used to sit in the lobby and just talk to people. He actually signed this poster for free, just because I was hauling it around, getting everybody. This was a big reunion. Actually, the first time I think all of them were together, and minus Franklin, in the same place for many years. And he saw it and he's like, "Oh, let me go ahead," and he just signed it for me. Super nice guy. If you ever had the pleasure of meeting him, you don't hear bad stories about Gunnar Hansen.
He's the shit.
Gonna start rolling through them quick because I probably have a lot. But there's Bill there.
Cool.
Carolyn there.
I'm glad I forgot to grab any autographs. So good job, Dan.
I forgot a bunch too, but those were close, so I got them. Have you guys picked up this book from Joseph Lanza?
I have not.
I
I know the name. Why do I know the name?
The film that he also what else did he write? But it's a really good book. I haven't finished it yet, but I actually got that over Christmas. Show some of the figures now. This one I think is actually becoming rare. It's actually, I don't collect a ton of pop vinyls, but I saw this one for a pretty good price, and it's the Chase edition variant, so those are pretty rare. Got the Living Dead doll of Leatherface here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, shit, I forgot a big one.
Got this one. This one's like one of the more. I think you can still get this.
I was talking about that today. I don't get these figures. I mean, you display them closed. They're not. I haven't collected any for that reason.
I do get that. They fit nicely on shelves.
I do, but if I want to look at a spine of something, I can just.
I totally agree. I do get that. This came out, I don't know, 5 years ago. The Hitchhiker and Nubbins set.
Yeah.
Do you have that one?
No, I don't.
I know you stopped probably collecting things around that time. I got that at a comic shop actually when I was down in Florida. This one, I believe, is starting to get a little harder to come by. The Cinema of Fear, the large Leatherface there, which is really cool. And I also have some of the other Cinema of Fear, the Hitchhiker. I've got.
Dan, show that other one again.
Which one?
I didn't see it.
Which one?
The last one. Just show me the last one, please.
Hitchhiker, Cinema of Fear. Sorry for the glare. I'm trying to get it so it's at least something.
No. That's I had to grab something, so I didn't see it. Okay, cool.
I have from the same series, Leatherface.
Do I have the same one? We'll find out.
I expected you to have everything, but I know you kind of slowed down.
No, and there's I didn't grab everything either, but no.
Yeah. I have this one's Chop Top signed by Bill Moseley.
Yeah. That's a good. I have the Chop Top one. I didn't grab it, but yeah, that's I really like that figure.
Yeah, this one looks really cool. They really captured the face well, and Nubbins there as well. Let's see. Show Hitchhiker. This I have owned a long time, and it's been through some moves, so it's got a little bit of wear and tear. But the old movie Maniacs Leatherface, it's been through several moves. So.
The standard release.
Yeah, the non-bloody variant.
Yes, not the bloody variant. I've almost bought that a few times.
There's the bloody, and then there's the very bloody.
Oh.
Yeah, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw 3. I have on here. Bill Johnson signed this one from 2 for me. That was actually here in Atlanta that I got.
That one's the clothed one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the retro cloth figures from NECA.
Yeah.
I think Dan has literally showed everything I have next to me.
Oh, my bad. And I know I've missed stuff. I did find this though. I don't know if anybody. I didn't collect all of them.
No, the Mad Balls. I remember those.
Yeah, the
Best Buy. Did you grab it there?
No, I think I might have got it at Second and Charles. It's not, well, maybe it was Best Buy though, because I don't see it. Yeah. So yeah, that's at least some of what I've got. I didn't fish everything out, and I'm sure there's some big thing that I have that I forgot. But
that's why I had to go dark. I forgot one piece. All right, Kruger, you have some stuff that Dan didn't do already?
Dan, did you do the Toonie Terrors thing?
No, he did not.
I did not. I don't have that yet.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, so this is the Toonie Terrors from NECA. I take a lot of shit out of the box. I know that's like a collector's no, but I like to play with the toy.
No hate.
I also, Dan, did you show this one?
Yeah.
No.
Wait.
Which? Sorry.
No,
which one?
It's the cloth variant.
This is the cloth variant of the pretty
First
woman mask.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this is pretty hard to come by, and I actually I have all he's actually just loose in here because what I do is take out the inner packaging and just throw them back in there and then display them. But I can open them up for a second. He's a really, really cool figure. This is actually one of my favorite Leatherface figures ever. I really hope that we eventually get a ultimate version of this with the ultimate line like we got with the other Leatherface from the 74 movie. But yeah, this is definitely my prized possession in my collection.
That's cool as fuck.
Anybody else?
Well, Pugs just sent me something. I'm trying to get it up in time that I was going to share.
Because I didn't pull all of my Texas Chainsaw Massacre shit. There's just no way I'm going to do that. But
I figured that.
I just figured this is when I met Gunner with Evil Ed at Dark Delicacies, and we took a couple photos, and I sent one of the good ones.
Oh,
back with a shitty fucking camera phone, but whatever. Yeah, so that was a good day. He was really cool. I met him before that too, but he didn't remember me. Not that I expect him to, but like he was so fucking friendly and just like an old grandpa you want to hug.
I have a young Dan photo with Gunner. I'll grab in a second. I don't know if it's a physical photo.
The dread length.
Yeah.
Todd, I do have one more thing. Actually, okay. I forgot. I do have the Atari version of the Ultimate Leatherface.
Oh, nice.
We didn't talk about the Atari game.
Yeah, the Atari game for Atari, like as far as Atari games go, is actually pretty decent. I mean, you can't expect great graphics or anything, but you got a little shitty chainsaw, and Leatherface's face mask was a couple of shitty brown pixels, but the game is kind of fun.
Yeah. Chris, I know you got the laser disc to show us nice on full screen. Do you have anything else to show us?
I'm actually trying to find it. Hold on. I'm going to send these to you. Can you put these pictures up if I send them to you? Can you come back to me?
Yeah, I can.
All right.
I could show this because Dan already showed it, but in the box, if you want. So this is the Funko.
Oh, with the leg. He's got the leg cut.
Yeah, Pretty Woman Funko Pop. And I don't think this was a chase. I think the way you had to get this one was in one of the Hot Topic like special Funko boxes. They would during I think it was 2017 around it was really popular. So Hot Topic was putting out a shit ton of horror stuff, and they came out with these boxes that you would buy for $35, and it would have 2 exclusive Funko items in it, and a bullshit keychain and a couple other things. And yeah, this was one of the things you got. I think the other special item was the Mystery Minis Part 2 Jason Voorhees.
All right. Chris, I'm going to have to do yours a slightly different way. Dan, did you have something to show us real quick, though?
Yeah, I don't know how well this will zoom. This is from Monster Mania. I believe, this one had to be the Monster Mania Celebrity Dinner. And the younger, clean-shaven Dan with Gunnar Hansen there. Sorry. It's not a great quality. That's actually not too bad. I think I met Piper at the same thing. Nice. I met Piper... Jason Mute, cool. Brian O'Halloran sat with me, which was really cool. Malcolm McDowell. where he called somebody the C word and had to apologize. Funny. He was being funny, but yeah, he did have to
American.
He had to apologize. No, he took it upon
he
himself.
caught himself. He's like, in my country, that's not that bad.
Chris, I had to do yours a slightly different way. So why don't you tell us what we're looking up?
There's some dirty pictures in here too. Don't that I've sent you?
No. I think the worst thing we're gonna see is a Monster Squad VHS tape.
Possibly. No, that is the gas station in Texas. I went into there in 2017 with a friend of mine. So we're looking at the outside of the gas station right now.
Nice.
That's fucking cool, dude.
I'm waiting for Todd to go. And that's one of the original gas pumps. They have that inside.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a bucket list place for me to go for sure.
Happened? Did I?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you clicked off.
Who you talking shit about? Let's see.
All those dick pics.
Oh shoot! No,
take it off the screen, Todd.
I'm trying. Jesus. Oh wait, no, hold on. There we go.
All right. So that's the van.
That's awesome.
That's the van I believe it's the van from the movie, or it's the same model, but it is
so cool.
Very close. That's the inside. Obviously, the steering wheel. And that's one of the shirts they were selling.
Yeah, that I Love Texas one is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What is Texas Chainsaw Barbecue? I can't read it.
Well seasoned and pit cooked barbecue.
Fuck yeah.
And that's a Coca-Cola machine that was outside of the gas station in the movie. So you do see that too.
Nice. All right. Very cool,
think
Chris.
There should be a few more there that I sent you.
Oh,
click on that next one. Yeah, because this one's going to piss you off because there's Remake Leatherface in front of part 2.
Oh, what the fuck? Jesus Christ.
But those figures on that shelf, I bought one of those. So I have one of those from the gas station. So
is there any more that you sent after these, Chris?
I don't think so. No, I don't think that's it. And we also had the barbecue, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not a barbecue eater, but I would 100% would have tried it.
I've been to Texas a few times, but I've never been in the area to go check that place out. But
it's right here. It's an hour. It's an hour from Austin. So
Kruger, you can read that. You know this.
Oh yeah, Leatherface was in Mortal Kombat X as a fighter. Yeah, and he was the shit. And they had the original Leatherface and the Pretty Woman mask as like a variant, and they also had the remake too, which was
so that wasn't the one that got the shit for having the black.
No, that's Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight got a bunch of shit because Leatherface had a black person's face mask as a cosmetic.
Yeah, but since they take their personalities, I would love to see that in a film.
We already saw that in Skinner. Yeah, we already saw that in Skinner.
I also want to point out one of the things I'm seeing a lot on social media is the picture of Michael Myers from Halloween Kills holding up the firefighter with the jaws of life, I think it is, or the saw, and the same picture of Leatherface holding up Sally. And they're like, oh, look who ripped it off. Well, that kill was in the Mortal Kombat game that came out 5 years before Halloween Kills.
And it was also in the beginning. He killed somebody like that.
Yeah. So it's like, sit the fuck down, okay?
Yeah, stupid.
All right, I guess it's my turn. There we go. Okay.
Great. Should I go take a nap?
Yeah. No, I didn't grab everything. All right. So we'll do the figures first because some of these, I don't think Dan showed any of the exact ones. This is the Cinema of Fear Leatherface from part 2.
Nice.
So
I have that one open.
Yeah.
Those figures are so expensive now. I love that line.
Some really are, yeah.
I'm saving that one. Okay. And then I have Dan, did you show this one? No, you didn't. This is the
Oh, you motherfucker. Yeah, that's the NECA Cult Classics.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that figure is one of like my holy grails if I ever find it.
Well, the next one I think you'll be really well, you don't like the remake as much now. See, a lot of not these particular figures, but some of the stuff we'll be getting to. A lot of it my wife got me because she knew like Leatherface and it was easy to find that stuff. So you'll know which one she bought coming up. Well, this is one, but it has all three.
The Mezits.
Yeah, with Leatherface, New Nightmare Freddy, and part 2.
I used to have those.
Which
It's an odd combination.
it is, but I thought it was really cool that they didn't just do this.
I think there was a series of them. I think like there was probably different versions because I remember having a couple of different Freddy's. I think.
All right, and this is the one I think Kruger might be kind of jealous of.
All right, let's see.
Kind of. He's plotting your death for that fucking.
Oh my god, that's so awesome.
That is insanely expensive, I believe.
Yeah, the Screen Grabs series was amazing. They had an awesome one of Nancy in the bathtub too, with with Freddy with the glove. Oh my god.
Unfortunately, I just noticed something. The saw is somehow not connected where it should be.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Well.
Oh wait, there we go.
Right.
I'll fix it on air. Price just went down $10 now. That's annoying me very badly.
That'll run you about $200 and not necessarily in perfect shape.
Todd's
No,
not happy.
it is the one that is the one. Yeah, my wife got it for me. I didn't have the heart to tell her it was the remake, but since it was one of the really cool set pieces, this would be the figure I might have bought myself from the remake. All right, the first pop, another one my wife got me because I don't collect pops.
I have that too. I didn't locate it.
They just came out with a new one too from the original movie with him with the hammer.
See, my thing is like they keep doing the original, but give me the remakes or the sequels, the other ones, because I'd buy those.
Oh yeah, from Texas Chainsaw 2 alone. Give us that and a Chop Top one.
Should I pull out my masks? Oh, here, one more figure. Unfortunately, it's yellowed a little, but it's the bloody variant.
Oh, he won up you, Dan.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why
I've almost
super bloody variant.
I know, and that came out after I got him, so I was very annoyed. But I didn't repurchase. Does it still have a price tag on it from Tower Records?
Dude, I would kill for Todd McFarlane to bring Movie Maniacs back. That was such an amazing toy line.
I was I think I was 12 when those were new, and I remember calling McFarlane and wanting to order the bloody versions because we couldn't find them anywhere, and they sent them to me. Like for free.
Awesome.
Like
he used to have he used to have a store actually out by me where I used to live in Surprise. I think it was like in Peoria. It was just called McFarlane's, and he would sell like some of his stuff, but a lot of it was actually like NECA figures and just collectibles from like different stuff. That was like my NECA pickup spot for a long time.
All right, I'll do the mask. I didn't find all of my masks, so I grabbed the ones that were easy. It looks better when it's like normal, but it's the Chainsaw 3 mask.
Yeah.
That's a Chainsaw 3 mask?
Yeah, it's even got the little tattoo.
Why is it all different colors? Is it like that in the movie?
Because if you look at the mask, it's not like one skin.
Oh.
This, I feel like it looks a little lighter on this. But yeah, because there's the black.
The only one you haven't dressed as for Halloween is Next Gen, right?
Yes. And if I did Next Gen, it would have to be the fucking woman one, but I'm not all about dressing up like that. So, but I actually
do it, you fucking pussy.
No, you find me a dress that's gonna fit that.
They found a dress that could fit fucking him, so why not?
I'm a lot bigger than him.
I know how to sew, Todd.
We'll get you a moo-moo.
All right. And this one's my custom one. I know that they came out in the official line, and it's the 2013 mask.
Oh god, even the mask looks like shit.
Yeah, there you go.
It fits nice, and it's got like the actual stitching and the leather backs. But yeah, and it's got punched hair. You can't really see, but you can feel right there. You can see the hair. So, yeah, I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Be real, you stroke that shit at night.
No, I won't say I haven't worn it at inappropriate times.
I know all about that, brother.
There was one funny time though, and when I went out with my wife when we went to Butterfly Lounge. I know Chris remembers that.
Oh god!
And it was the Halloween, and I was like Leatherface, and I kept having to take pictures with all these bitches. I met these nice ladies that were there at the club, and It's funny because they kept wanting me to take my mask off. It was fucking Tobe's. But that was the part 1 mask because I didn't bring out either of the aprons. Actually, Chris helped me with one of the aprons when we did the blood on it.
I did.
On the 3D apron.
Oh God, I helped you with that one.
You did. And then, okay, I guess we'll go with some of the. Well, the lights are in the background. I don't know how well you can see them.
No, there we go. We both have that one.
All right. And the other Cinema of Fear. I know his head should be turned a little. I don't know what's up with these. It's been sitting on the shelf for 30 years or however long.
30.
Yeah, well, fuck, probably 20 by now.
You might as well be.
See, this is another one my wife got me. She did good.
So you got some chainsaws back there too.
I do. One I painted gold for when I finally was able to do 3. I couldn't afford the real chainsaw, so I had to improvise.
Oh, dude, that's sick as hell.
There's the 18-inch.
Oh, hell yeah.
Spawn.
That's one of the best Leatherface figures.
I agree. I've taken him out and played with him. He's beat Captain Spaulding, and he's beat... I've only got rid of one of these that I've ever owned of the 18-inch, and that was the Kill Bill one, because I didn't really need it.
I'm jealous. Those are top-tier figures.
I got a few of them, but yeah, there's that one. Okay. And probably one of my... Do I have anything else big? I think I only have one more thing. All right. It's one that my wife got me. Try to take it out of the plastic because I need to hang it up. It's an art piece.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's Leatherface on some flesh. And some others. They do. I know.
I'm gonna steal that idea, Todd. Just so you know.
That's fine. I told my mom we should. She's making crafts. And I was like, you do this. I'm sure I got people that'll buy it.
I will buy that shit. Absolutely.
But they have other franchises, and like I'll tell you this. My
Hellraiser.
See, that's the thing. My wife. They accidentally sent her the wrong one first. So I have a Chucky one, which to me makes no sense. Chucky on the meat. Like Leatherface makes sense, and Hellraiser are perfect fits for it.
Yeah,
you can make an argument for Chucky if it's Bride of Chucky and it's not really flesh, but it's like plastic, and he's
See, if it was melted plastic, I would totally be cool with it, but it's still like the same exact idea. But yeah, so
it's fucking rad.
That's all my
Todd. Next time I come over, I want to see that in person so I can steal the idea.
Absolutely.
Coming to the Flesh Wound features.
Ed and I'll fucking knock those out. Like, no problem.
Oh, man. Well, lots of cool shit. Yeah, definitely Texas Chainsaw. There's like a variety of really cool stuff you can get out there. I've seen like, isn't there like a barbecue sauce too?
Probably from the place. Yeah. They probably did something like that.
I'm gonna go down there. Maybe I'll go down there.
Oh shit! I forgot one more that I paused or I dipped out to go grab. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah, I might actually. This is making me really want to just finally go ahead and check that out. I'm due a trip to Texas.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. You have this one too, don't you, Pugs?
Yes. No, I don't. Damn it, Edwin. No, I don't.
Why are you stroking that shit like it's your fucking dick? Like you took it out and you caressed the box.
No, I'm not.
He's molesting it.
And then you gently put your finger in there.
He comes faster from stroking the box than the dick.
There's a button so it makes saw noises. See? I don't know if you can hear it. But it's making saw noises.
I'm amazed it still works.
Try me. It's funny because there's a few others of these. The Michael Myers one.
I got
there's a Freddy one, right?
And the Freddy one. The funny thing about the Freddy one, it is the same. It's the same mold as the one. What was it? LJN. The one that was recalled in the 80s. The pull string one. Same exact mold. Only difference was it was a push button, which I kind of regret not having both now because I have the other Freddy, but I had to put him back in his box. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud.
That's awesome.
He's gonna chill there.
Yeah, I got the 2 Michael Myers and Ghostface. I don't have those. I don't have Leatherface though, but one day.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything else?
No,
I got
Not that
that.
I can find. The comic books are pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
I was not going to begin to even fish those out, but those
I
are
probably
cool.
got some. I probably got some Fango issues with that shit. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, I got that too. But
yeah.
you still have every single issue, Chris?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Nice.
That's awesome. I wasn't sure if you caved and sold them off because
I did that with Horror Hound for a good couple of years, and I'm like, I'm done with this. I still have the. I don't know when I stopped, but I still have
I have a big chunk. I lost some in because the old house wasn't as big, so I had to store some in a box, and it got a leak in a shed. But I do have a good chunk of the Fango line. Not everything though.
I can find one. I think there's an issue with Texas Chainsaw 2 on the cover. If there isn't, there should have been. What's that? That's 86. Yeah, we're getting there. What the hell is this? FX. It's Demons. Fun fact: Demons didn't come out in the U.S. until '86. So
Yeah. Now I got to move all this stuff. So
Yeah, right.
So what are we doing now? Chris is looking for something. So talk amongst yourselves.
there you go.
And he found it. Oh, cool.
Oh, the 2. Oh, here.
The Chainsaw 2.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah. I know. I have that.
What fucking number was this now? Now I pulled it out. I don't know where the hell. Damn it!
Top. Oh, you got to figure out where it goes in there. Set.
Yeah.
I'll watch Chris's OCD live.
If this ain't the fucking pot calling the kettle black, I don't know what is.
Did Next Generation get a Fango cover?
I'm pretty sure it did. I'd have to look.
Did?
Chris?
Okay, I'm trying to visualize if they
Because it was a franchise, so normally they always got
Would
covers.
that have been like 94, right?
Well, it depends. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they did for 4. I think everything else did.
When did part 3 come out?
1990. That one definitely did. I wasn't sure about 4. I'm trying to can't see the cover in my head for that.
3 did not get a cover.
It didn't?
Nope.
It didn't. Wow, I swear to God, maybe it was.
Oh wait, it got a Gore Zone cover. I think.
No, it did. It was earlier on. There's
okay,
3.
yeah. I know. Doesn't it get a Gore Zone cover too? I know.
It probably does. Those are in a different.
Hold on, Chris. Show it again.
Oh yeah, let me make it large too. Hold on, I'm gonna.
Yeah. I swore I could have sworn it did. Yeah.
But
What else? What's on the film strip? I want to know what else was on that one.
Horror Heroes Speak, Argento on Suspiria, Donald Pleasance's Last Halloween. Yeah, okay.
What for? What part? By the way,
this would have been part 5.
Okay. Oh yeah, time-wise.
Jonathan Fred, Barnabas Returns, Richard Matheson's Terror Triumph, Shocking Report, NPAA versus Splatter, Video Battle Rages, Monsters TV's Best Horror Show, Two Evil Eyes, Romero, Leeds Poe Revival, and that's it. And Stephen King's latest.
Okay. No, I was just curious.
Yeah, this is issue. See, some of them don't have the fucking numbers on it, which is awful. I don't know how the hell I organize some of these because this one doesn't have a number on it either.
It doesn't have the month and
on the inside.
It says December, but that doesn't help.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whatever. All right, so that's that one. All right, so now you want a Next Generation? I don't know if Next Generation ever had.
Yeah, I don't think it did. I don't think it did. I could be wrong. Though.
I don't think you are. I think you're right.
All right.
I'm stuck on.
So a little pimp for the Patreon, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. We are going to have a live show Sunday covering some non-canon Texas Chainsaw films.
What do you mean?
Non-canon.
He's trying to say.
I know what he's saying.
Yeah, but non-canon. You got to give it a little bit more clarity.
yeah, smut.
Okay, I can do smut.
Yes. Some
You have
heavy
done smut.
We will be doing that live on Sunday, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures.
I will not be participating. I will be watching. A voyeur, as you were.
You didn't watch the one thing?
No, I did. I'm just saying I'm not participating in the smut with you guys.
No.
You guys jerking off together? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know what the fuck's happening.
I'm gonna ref it.
I was when we did not act in these films, so unfortunately. Flesh Wound Features, though, movie division coming soon. Literally.
Only dance.
Oh God.
So that's Sunday.
Glad I'm missing that one.
Lots of Patreon content up and coming your way.
Yeah. Well, on that note, do we want to say goodnight?
Yeah, we almost 3 hours. So thanks for joining us. Listening to us geek out over this awesome franchise. And as always, be sure to share the links, comments. We love to hear from you what your rankings are. Pop that in the comments, even if you just did it in the chat. Pop it in the comments. We love seeing that. It helps.
Please and thank you. And Chris, please promote your new podcast, please.
Yes.
No.
Even for me? I would like. Well, you know what? We're gonna have it linked in the bottom, Todd. Make sure that happens, please.
It's called the Spooky Picture Show. I do it with Michael Felcher, Peter Brackey, and my buddy Kevin Ellis. We go once a month. You can find us on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor FM, and there's one other one. But if you click our link tree, if you find us on Facebook, our link tree is on there. You can find out where to listen to us.
We'll throw it in the description.
Yeah, this past month we did a show on misleading cover art. That one was a lot of fun. We had some good stories about some artwork that fucked with us when we were younger, and we got some cool stuff coming up. So
awesome,
very cool. Oh, I don't want to say anything because it may not have happened yet, so I'll ask you later. All right,
Todd, then say goodnight, sir.
Get in the van, Franklin.
And yeah,
Mr. Kruger.
Fuck the hat.
Yeah, fuck the hat.
Feeling the love.
All right, and I'll see you in Disneyland.